And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome out to Alexandria Senior High School. I am Doug Gann alongside Coach Ernie Lott, getting ready to bring you District 2-5A action here from J.L. Butch Stoker Stadium in Alexandria, Louisiana, as the Trojans come in 3-2 on the season and ready to kick things off in district play. And what a district opener this is, as they welcome in the number one ranked in non-select in Division I, the Bearcats of Ruston. And, yeah, that's that same Bearcat team that has been so solid throughout the years. And to bring us all of the insight and analysis, I'm joined in the booth once again by my longtime partner, Coach Ernie Lott. Coach Ernie in his 75th season. Congratulations on reaching such a milestone, Coach, and welcome aboard.
Yeah, you keep adding a year every year, every game. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. You know, like I say, this Ruston team has traditionally been very physical and a top-notch team year in and year out for the last, well, since I've been watching them play, and then they're always got good athletes, so it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
It should be. You know, historically, Coach, and not to get into your keys to the game, Ruston's, I heard you actually talking beforehand, they're still Ruston, so they're still big, they're still strong, and they're still fast. And how do the Trojans respond to that? Their defense has gotten a lot better throughout the games, but it's a big contest for them.
Right. That's one of my biggest concerns is how the defense handles their physicality, and you know, we'll touch on that later as we go along here.
As you're looking out over the screen, you see the Trojans getting warm up. They are in their white pants with the purple uniforms, the white letters, block letters lined in gold, white helmets with the Ash logo atop it. Good umpire crew or officials crew tonight. We've got a 7-man crew, Coach, and that's what you want in a game like this. I was able to talk to some of them at lunch today as I was buying their lunch for you. At a random kindness. No, I'm kidding. No, I certainly didn't. But was able to visit with some of them, and they said, look, we've got a 7-man crew tonight because this is a premier game, and you want to have somebody in each of the spots because, you know, they'll go in a 5, 6, or 7-man crew, and having all 7 positions covered allows you to get every angle as basically as best you can.
Right. In last week's game, we had it was a marathon as far as penalty goes, but that has to do with the quality of the team was playing, I think, and they were doing the best they could to try to block us, and they were holding and, you know, all that kind of stuff, but I don't think that'll happen tonight.
We told Coach last night, speaking about that long first quarter from a week ago, that was due to penalties. That was due to a lot of Trojan touchdowns. 54 minutes was the show. I mean, was the first quarter last night, and our show last night was only an hour. So we played the whole first quarter in the time that we were able to do the show last night. A great crowd that came out. There were probably 60 to 70 folks out in attendance out at Walk-Ons last night for the Thomas Bachman show, and all throughout the air was the I guess the murmur of getting ready to get this thing going on. Had a lot of folks watching at home, and that was great to see. But it's just an air about you when district play opens up.
Well, yeah, and you got to win this one to be the district champion, and as far as I know, there's no other district, maybe other than probably the New Orleans area, that's this tough as far as in the 5A classification. You got West Monroe, you got Ruston, you got Ouachita, which is always traditionally tough as well. So those 3 games for sure are going to be barn burners. Throw Pineville in there and West Ouachita. but you got to win this one to be the district champ, and that's what the Trojans got to do or take care of business tonight.
It's like NASCAR racing. They run the Daytona 500 in the first weekend, and this is a big weekend here in Alexandria as played host to the Bearcats of Ruston. They got to hit here, Coach, and I think I normally get to the stadium kind of early on game days, even for a home game like this, to set everything up that we have. Ruston was already here. You know, you Coach Bachman and this team, they like to get there, keep it as normal as they can, and get to where they're going right in time to warm up. Ruston's been here for a while.
Yeah, well, I noticed across the way there, they're starting to fill up the stands, and I'm sure by the game time there'll be a nice crowd here from Ruston. They traditionally bring a large crew of fans. They got their band here and cheerleaders and everything. Unlike last week, there was probably 15 people in the stands on the other side. But
well, they've got almost that much in a training crew. You know, you look on the far sideline over there, and they've got a tent, you know, that medical tent that's over there. And, you know, you've heard Coach Bachman over and over talk about how we just need medical coverage out at the field, and they've got a tent to go into and check it out. So the last year you'll see that tent, though, from the Bearcats. This is the 5th year of their suit from the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Rutgers sued them over that R that's on there, so they gave them 5 years. They had to change all of that. So all of their R's are going to have to be redone. So that means their turf on their field, all of their uniforms, that tent, everything. That R has to go away.
And if
Stop. No, between the two of y'all can know.
Well, if Rutgers was worth a flip, why would they care? I mean,
look,
they're not
if
any
you're
good
concerned about a little old team from North Louisiana, Southern Arkansas, however you want to look at it, it's just that just show you. But anyway, that show you. And they blocked off the bottom part of their R where it angles down. They're just blocking off the bottom of it, and that's enough to change it. But they've got to go out and do everything to it like that. I got to believe we'd put some duct tape on it and just change it and save the money. But it'll look more similar to the A at midfield there of the Trojans, where it's blocked off on the bottom. And so that's the difference. That's why you'll see all of this different from next year.
I didn't know about that, but that's today's thing. Everything's got to be politically correct and can't do this and can't do that.
Copyright infringement. There you have it. Going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to talk to Trojan head coach Thomas Bachman. We'll get his thoughts on tonight's game, district, and get this thing ready to go. We've also got our Ernie Lott keys to the game brought to you by Valex Federal Credit Union. We appreciate the folks at Valex. We'll have our Saddlers key starters on the night, and then we'll get this thing down to the field for the coin toss and the kickoff. We've got a big show coming up for you tonight. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Ash Trojan football exclusively on 446 Sports.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Senla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Down on the field with head coach Thomas Bachman. And coach, the 23 hours or so have passed since last night's show, and we're ready to kick this thing off. District starting. How's it feeling today?
Feels really good. You know, kids were out of school today. We brought them in at 2 o'clock, and it's been a pretty smooth afternoon. And yes, the school board says we're getting really close to kickoff, so excited about it, ready to get it going. I think it's going to be a great one. It's just going to be another Ruston Ash football game.
You know, and you see that. Anybody that's seen the history of the games, Coach, have seen just one exciting game after another on there. But it's because you and Coach Ball, a lot of respect for each other. The players have a lot of respect for each other. How does that intensify this type of game when you know each other so well?
Yeah, you know, you do feel like you know each other well. There's always, you know, some wrinkles, some new things that are presented in the ball game and new ways to attack that we're going to have to adjust to once we get out here and get this thing going. But it's a fun game to be a part of because you know it requires your best. And I just, as a competitor, you know, you and I have talked about this. We talk about it with our kids all the time. You know, competitive greatness, being at your best when your best is required. It's one thing to, you know, run over the top of the people that you're better than. But when you're playing great competition, you need your best performance. And you need and to be able to get into those moments is just what you look forward to, and that's certainly what we have right here in front of us tonight.
Your defense seems to be playing a lot better. First couple of games in the season gave up a few points, but the adjustments have been made. How does that factor into a big, strong offensive unit like Ruston brings to town?
Yeah, well, they're going to want to run the football, establish that run game, control the clock, you know, and to have some time-consuming drives. And they're going to hit their explosive plays. Obviously, the receiver out on the edge is you know, a really good player that presents his matchup problems. But you know, our kids are looking forward to the challenge. Our defensive kids are excited about it, and they know what's in store for them tonight.
Through the years in this ball game, especially, special teams have played such a big part in this. You know, we handle things well. I know we've got a young man running kicks back tonight too, or running punts back on there. How you feel about your special teams unit, knowing they'll be pivotal tonight?
Well, you know that they're going to be aggressive. We're going to pick our spots where we're aggressive on special teams. We've done a good job through the years of handling some onside kicks and getting them recovered when they kick them. But you know, they're coming tonight too. I just know that's what this matchup brings. There's going to be an onside kick or two that they're going to throw at us. You know, through the years there's been some fake punts, and so yeah, it's going to play a huge part. You know, but stressing get kids to understand that that's a huge part of the game. That's another down, fourth down, or special teams are every bit as important as the first 3 downs or any other phase of the game. And I think our kids are ready for that, to respond to that challenge, and kind of looking forward to, to that part of the game.
I got to believe that they're going to have to keep an eye on your special teams units as well, because you just never know what those Trojans are going to have on there too. Coach, we're going to let you get back to your game, get your prep going on. Thank you so much for taking your time with us. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be Coach Ernie and his keys to the game. It'll be our Saddlers Towing starting lineups, and then you guessed it, coin toss and kickoff right around the corner. Coach, let's go get them.
Let's do it.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Lock On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
And we are back, getting ready for another big night of football. And how are the Trojans going to get it done? Well, the most reliable way to figure that out is to go to the Valex keys to the game. And that's head coach Ernie Lott. Yeah, how about that? Easy for me to say. Coach, how are the Trojans going to get it done tonight?
Well, first of all, I think the offense is the key to the game. They're going to have to be on top of their game tonight, dictate the pace of the game, being able to run and pass, and keep the ball away from the Ruston Bearcats. Secondly, the defense is going to have to step up. Ruston has traditionally been a real physical ball team, and we've had trouble with teams that have been physical, like Karen Crow and some of the others like that. So, I think that's probably going to be the biggest key as to whether or not we can stop their game, running game. And the third thing, of course, is always the special teams. You got to win a district championship. You got to start tonight, and special teams, both kickoff, extra point, all those things. I was watching the warm-ups. They got a very good field goal kicker. He was kicking them from 37, 40 yards out, and punter looked like he was a pretty good punter. So, all those things play into who comes out on top tonight. I think it's going to be a close game, just a matter who makes the fewest mistakes and who can play their game the best.
Well, there you have it. And those, one I might add a little caveat to it is that no matter where this game is at, halftime, wherever it's at, you cannot get up and walk away from this one. We have seen some double overtime thrillers. We have seen, and you can remember, look, I can't remember what my wife asked me to bring her home from the store, but I can remember 3 years ago when Baby D catches that pass across the middle and takes it 65 yards for the touchdown to beat Ruston here.
Yeah,
so
I can remember the game in Ruston where we had a chance to win it in
double, triple overtime.
That was a barn burner there. So every one of these games has been close for the most part. Physical. They got some big guys. They got speed. We got speed. We got some big guys. It's going to be a matchup.
Jaden Osborne, number 4, the quarterback for the Bearcats of Ruston. That's who you want to watch out for. Number 9, Jordan Hayes can do it as well. They're missing Dyson Fields tonight. He is their key running back, but I'm telling you, they've got a stable of young men that can run the football. Offensively for the Trojans, of course, you'll see Joe Bordelon at quarterback. You'll see that backfield. They'll come out in a heavy offensive set, Coach, in this one to start things off. We were able to talk to Coach Bachman and talk to some of his – or was able to – look, I'll tell you about his script in just a minute. But we're going to talk to him. They're going to come out and try to match things with them. Of course, you'll see J.T. Lindsey and you'll see Datlin Cunningham carry the ball the bulk of the way. James Harrington will line up in the H-back spot. And then, of course, you'll see Mingo and Jalen Johnson out at the wideouts along with E.J. Scott and others that are out there as well. Darius Washington, the young man that had been returning punts for the Trojans, is out for tonight's ball game. He got hurt in practice this week, and so our thoughts and prayers are with that young man, but he is out for the foreseeable future. And that was a freshman coach that they had running punts back. Correction, a sophomore. But still, when you've got a young man running punts like that back, that's such a vital position of somebody to field the ball.
Right, and that's important, especially in the game. If you've seen even on college games, the LSU early in the year had a guy supposed to be
Malik Neighbors, absolutely.
Supposed to have been a catching punts and couldn't, and they had to finally put kid back there was tight end, wasn't it?
Jack Besh is back there running it back. He was a wide receiver from St. Thomas More. If you remember that game against St. Thomas More last year when St. Thomas More came here, he was hurt in that game and didn't play, but Walker Howard, who his quarterback was, they've matched back up down at LSU in Baton Rouge. So a lot of great things going on defensively. On the show last night, we had the linebacking core. Vaughn Darbone. We had I'm losing my train of thought where I'm at. Aiden Walker was on the show, and then of course John Barajas was there. John Barajas, if you'll remember that East Ascension game, he had the pick six that sealed things on there. Defensively, this squad from Alexandria is ready to get things going. They are up to the task tonight, and you've not seen a more motivated group. But I remember Mike Tyson telling us everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the mouth. And so
it all sounds good anyway.
Oh, absolutely. But the Trojans are ready for this one. They've been looking ahead. You'll never hear Coach Bachman say that they look down the road, but I assure you they are looking ahead to get things going.
Yeah, well, this is, like I say, this is district. This is the thing starts here. You can't be a district champion unless you win this one. And I see we got the pink going on out here on the field tonight. Must be, is it breast cancer awareness or
breast
whatever?
Cancer awareness the month of October. Absolutely, yeah. It is. And so
everybody's got the pink pom-poms and all that. And then got some youngsters out there, not only football players, but up-and-coming cheerleaders and pom-poms and dance line and all that is on the field tonight. It's
great to see, and what a great atmosphere. This wraps up, Coach, week 3 in a row of being at home. So that's or correction of back here. No, we did have East Ascension, then we had Green Oaks, and then now tonight with the Ruston. So the Trojans have been home through week 6 tonight. They've been at home 4 out of 6 weeks. They will find themselves on the road to split the final way 2-2. The rest of the way next week we go up to West Monroe and then back home to play Pineville, back up to Ouachita, and then we'll host West Ouachita in week 10.
You sure it's not Washington next week? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that in the slightest.
I think I had it on my phone because somebody asked me about driving the bus Friday and
well, we're going to that area next week.
Yeah,
I can promise you that.
Somewhere. It's either West Monroe or Ouachita, one of them.
And we'll be up that direction, I do believe. I'll let you check that, but I think that it is West Monroe. Getting ready, the honor guard, color guard, making their way out on the field. The captains for tonight's ball game, Coach, I'll let you point those out.
No, you got me. I'm gonna have to try to see if I can strain my eyes to see them. You left your binoculars, so we both gonna be having difficulty making out the numbers here. I was trying to see if I can find the schedule.
About 5.5 minutes to go, and you see the Trojans start to make their way out onto the field. Ruston already out there. And I'm telling you, we are ready. It just seems like the other day we were talking about how excited we were to kick off the season, and here we are kicking off the district campaign. Color Guard starts to make its way out there. We're going to turn it over to the sights and sounds of pregame on here and go out to our ambiance and let you hear what's going on outside as we get things going.
Junior Reserve Officers Training Court program for Color Guard. The Color Guard is commanded by Cadet Second Lieutenant Christina Patel. Other members of the Color Guard Cadet Second Lieutenant Samantha Dahl Key, Hayden Cullen, Cadet First Sergeant Benjamin Melder. Could you please stand and remove your hats as Reagan Monroe will lead us tonight in prayer. followed by the Trojan Band for the national anthem.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here today. Please watch over the players and coaches as they compete tonight and allow them to play to their best ability. Please protect everyone as they travel home tonight and all of our students and teachers this fall break. I pray that you provide comfort and healing to those battling breast cancer and for their loved ones. I also pray that you continue to heal Josie Mercer and provide peace for her family, Coach Josh and Gracie Mercer. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Go Trojans.
There you have it, getting ready to get things going. Again, captains for tonight's contest for the Bearcats of Ruston, Ashton Jarrow, Jaden Jackson, Ahmad Smith, and Josh Coleman. For your Trojans out there, Bryce Rushing, Joe Bordelon, John Barajas, and James Harrington join the group. Four captains. You see the color guard from the Trojans starting to make their way off the field. And one of those improvements that you'd like to see with all that money that's coming in this field is an LED light bank out there lighting here in Alexandria is dim as these games down. It's brighter down there, but up here in the stands and all, it stands a little more dim, ready to get this going. Of course, the Bearcats make the trip down from that northeast Louisiana area. Right there around the campus of Louisiana Tech is where they're at, up on I-20, home of the Peach Festival. Coach, you ever been to the Peach Festival?
No, I can't say as I have, but I've been to Ruston quite a few times. And they got pretty much all the football players. The only other football playing school is Cedar Creek in that area. So
Cedar Creek is where Bryce Rushing makes his way to. And you see on the left hand of Bryce Rushing's got a cast on there. Dislocated it or broke it in practice and had to reset it, so he'll be in that cast tonight. Great camera work that is on the field. We're seeing the tremendous crew that's down there. The Trojans have won the toss and have elected to defer. That means they will exercise their option when we come out at halftime. Coach, big night tonight here. We've talked about it as much as we can. Opening up district, you see Ruston there has elected to receive the ball. Ruston comes out in their red and white that they normally do, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a contest. Again, look for Jaden Osborne to lead the way along with Jordan Hayes on that group.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the stats. The quarterback has most of the yardage looks like is for the Bearcats, and he's going to be a handful. We've had some previous quarterbacks that we've had faced in previous games, and Karen Crow and so forth. That we're going to have to stop him, I'm sure.
So when we talked about the scheduling, we make a trip to Washington next week, not West Monroe. Then we will be back home to visit or to host Pineville before we make the trip up to West Monroe, and there's a stop at the Burger Grind in our future, I can tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you, I was there earlier in the week. I had to take the volleyball team up there, so I just kind of sauntered over there and got me a burger at the Burger Grind.
Look, I mean, you can pick which bread you want, which cheese you want. You can get a little bit of everything. You see, getting ready to tee this one up is Van Dyke. Bodie Van Dyke will Back deep to receive
Hayes and Woods for
is
Bearcats. Deep
Hayes.
receive.
Jordan Hayes, we told you, was back there. Jamar Woods joins him. Jamar Woods to the far side, nearest the Bearcat sideline. And spirited group over there already from Ruston. You still see people piling in to the stadium. This thing about half full now. Will fill up a good bit more before we are too deep into this one. Van Dyke puts a foot into it, and it comes up short. About the 40, the Trojans look like they have it on the sky kick, and they do. First big play of the game, Coach, and you talked about special teams, and there you have it. See if we can get that one back. We cannot. We'll have to watch it overnight tonight when we get it back here. That one was just too quick, but a great job of coming up with that. And the Trojans now steal a position, Coach, and they'll start out 1st and 10 from the Bearcat 40.
I feel like I'm the smart fella in the world about them special teams, but that is a big play right there to get the ball right off the bat.
Come out with a tight end and James Harrington in there. Got Cunningham in the backfield. Cunningham's going to get the toss. Good penetration from the right end. Number 27, Kyron McConnell, comes in and makes that tackle, and that's actually going to be a loss of 2 for Cunningham.
We had an unbalanced set this side, but we ran back to the weak side, and apparently Ruston didn't adjust to it. Let's see if they would go back to the overload side.
Quick pass out to the near side. Good blocking from the near side. Jalen Johnson brings that one in, but the blocking of Mingo was what sprung that, and now it is 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 5.
Got the little hurry up going on here.
You know your 4-down territory from down here. You come out and you steal a possession like that, you've got to pay it off. 3 to the top, 1 to the near side. Cunningham flanked to the right of Bordelon. Bordelon now solo in the backfield, looking back to pass. Zips that one out, and it's just a bit high on Mingo. Thought Mingo could have had that one, but just flew it just a little bit.
So it brings up a 4th down and 5.
And that is 4th down and 5, and beautiful play calling as it was wide open, but Mingo unable to bring that one down. And Joe had time to settle in and get that one out there. They come the same set.
Threw a high, hard fastball that time. Looked like Ruston faking the blitz here. They got three down linemen and looked like 3 linebackers.
Mingo flanked to the left of Joe this time. 3 wide out receivers are to the top. Joe getting pressured. He's going to step up out of the pocket and dumps that one off, but incomplete.
Ball will go over on downs.
And just good pressure by the Bearcats on defense. And just take a little over a minute off of the clock, but nothing doing.
Hate to see that right off the bat because we had a good opportunity there to pick up some points. If we could have got a little bit closer, at least field goal range, but unfortunately 2 miscues that Ruston's going to have the ball on about the 35-yard line, which is not too far from where we recovered it.
Yeah, just 5 yards officially for the Trojans there, and that is going to bring out Jaden Osborne and this big Bearcat offense. They look very similar to the way the Trojans line up. Osborne's going to run a big long option and tosses that one almost like a forward pass, and that is out to the outside and a lot of room to run. That is number 9, Jordan Hayes. And, Coach, I'm telling you, that's one of the longest option tosses I've seen.
Yeah, they did something similar to what the Trojans did. They ran an unbalanced heavy set to the right, but then they ran back the option back to the left side. And, like you say, it was almost a pass to him, but picked up big yardage on the 1st down. Not what you want to see if you're the defense, and hopefully we can stop them here before we give up a score.
10:40. Clock stops as the player went out of bounds. 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats from the Trojan 33-yard line. This time it's right up the middle, and that interior line of the defense is solid.
That time we stood them up nicely. Defensive front stood there, offensive front up, and linebackers came as well, and might have lost about a half a yard.
2nd down and 10 for the Bearcats. They are at the Trojan 32-yard line, I guess you will, following that stop up the middle. Again, Brantley, correction, Osborne there at quarterback. Yep. That's going to be a false start off the tight end to the near side. Looked like
number 6,
Christian Davis.
Gonna make it, second down and about
second down and 15 now, yes. Because they didn't give them anything on that.
15 to go for first down.
Second down and 15. You see the clock not working. It's an even 10 minutes on there. We're not working on our screen, certainly working here on the field. Second down, 15. Snaps back, and they'll run that long option back to the near side. Good pressure right up the middle. And that's big time play by Caleb Andrus. Andrus comes firing in and makes that play. And Coach, early in the season, you saw the Trojans miss on some tackles like that. Did a good job of making the open field.
Right, he grabbed him and was able to bring him down with an arm tackle, and he's a pretty good sized lad. If I saw right on the thing, he's close to 200 pounds.
They're going to give him officially a yard, make it third down and 14.
70
Have
pounds.
to get to the 22-yard line.
Pass.
Back to pass. Good pressure coming this way. Just throws that one away, and that is a solid defensive effort by the Trojans. And you got to believe that Ruston will come out and look to punt here, Coach.
Yeah, try to pin the Trojans back on their own goal line. Hopefully go out of bounds and we can start at least on the 20. You said we lost our who's number 11
Punt
back
return, that is Mingo that's back there. He's the one that the pass was intended for that sailed just a little bit over him. He's the one that you don't mind having back there.
Watch for a fake here. And go.
And that one's going to be down inside the 5 to the 3.
Nice job by the special teams of downing it on about the 3-yard line.
Again, special teams have played well in that. That's not a turnover, Coach, but when you pin somebody inside the 5-yard line, it is very difficult to sustain big, long drives when two powerhouse teams like this.
97 yards is a long way to go, but hopefully Joe was a little off on his pass again. Tried fire it out there, and maybe he'll take a little bit off and hit a little.
Eric Jones now in at the wide receiver to the top of the field. Johnson and Mingo to the near side. Joe calls for it. Handoff's going to go to Cunningham, trying to get something and going to spin around. Pick up 3 out to the 6.
Johnson on the tackle.
They got some big old boys up there on that defensive front as well, so it's going to be a good match here between our offensive line and their defensive front.
Again, the clock and the time down and distance are not working on ours. We'll try to keep you updated here. It is second down and 7 following that 3-yard pickup from Cunningham. Now both running backs in the backfield, and you're going to get a motion, I believe, against the Trojans, and that'll be half the distance. Yeah, they'll march it back. So the 3 yards that the Trojans picked up on that play from Cunningham, Coach, they're right back to where they were at the 3-yard line, and it'll be second down and 10 now.
Yeah, both teams are not looking real sharp to start right off the bat here. They've gone back to a 4-man front since they're down on this end of the field. Not likely the Trojans are going to pass here.
8:24 in this one. Right back up the middle, and that is Lindsey that's out there. Lindsey getting to the near side.
Nice job of running, and he bounced it to the outside that time.
They're going to, look, I promise you, they're going to get me down on that end, as that was Datlin Cunningham. Datlin Cunningham on the run, not Lindsey. And I get so much grief from our man Ronnie Schwartz up here, and he's got a spotter, Coach. That's what.
He got binoculars even.
Binoculars and such, and listen.
Binoculars.
Can't beat fun at the old ball game. 7:59, first down pickup there from Cunningham. Brings Mingo back into the backfield, does Joe. Joe snaps this one out, complete to the far side, and that is Eric Jones. Jones brings that one in. And, Coach, you're looking to see a good sustained drive out of here, but you've got it out of the shadow of your end zone also.
Yeah, picked up a nice gain on that one. I'd look for them to go for the big one right here. It was a second down and about 4 yards to go. They may go for the big bomb here.
Trojans have it from the 22-yard line. One back in the backfield. Mingo again in motion. He gets the little jet toss there. Will come around and be driven down at the 26-yard line, and enough for a Trojan first down.
Ruston has changed their defensive front again. They've gone back to a 4-man front.
Jimmy Duncan now makes his way into the game. And Coach Bachman told us he wanted to control the tempo and play his ways. He's mixing the pass and the run up pretty well.
Now they're in a 3-man front.
Snap is back. Quick pass out to Mingo. Mingo's got this one. Out to the 30-yard line is where he gets. That'll be a 4-yard pickup. Make it 2nd down and 6. 6:54 and counting here in the first.
Nice recovery by their defense. He looked like he was going to pick up more, but they rallied to the ball and was able to stop him for it.
One of the things the Trojans try to do in that East Ascension game where they were outsized, for lack of a better word, is get the ball on the perimeter. That is Lindsey getting the outside. He's going to get to the 35-yard line. Very close to the first down, maybe a yard shy, and it is 3rd down and well, where they mark it, it'll be 3rd down and 2. Have to get out to the 36-yard line. Ball rests at the 34. 3rd down and 2, 6:13, nearing the 6-minute mark. Handoff up the middle, trying to get to the outside. Now kick to the outside and brought down in the backfield, and just good work. That was Cunningham that had it but was unable to get out of it there.
Yeah, they bring in the linebackers practically on every play, shooting the gaps and turning into about a 7-8 man line here.
Trojans set to punt, and only one person changes. Now a couple for the Bearcats. Jackson returning. They don't have, but they got 10 guys on the field, it looks like.
Jackson back deep.
They got 11 now, yeah. So Joe stays on to punt. Snap is back, and it's a good one. Puts a left foot into this one and really hammers that one. Returnable kick because it had no hang time. Well, there's a block in the back, and it's going to be seen. So everybody saw that one. Its penalty was around the 32, so they'll start this one, we believe, around the 17-yard line.
Yeah, there wasn't no doubt about that one. I mean, it was in the middle of the field, and everybody, including the people in the stands, could see that one. So
Trojans have had a couple of possessions. The first one was 3 and out, or 4 and out, if you will. And that one was a decent drive. Able to, Coach, and you've heard this all the time, flip the field. They started that drive on their 3-yard line, and now they've moved Ruston where they should start at the 20.
Well, 25.
25 gave them 10 on it, so they marked it from the 35. It'll be 1st down and 10, 5:18. One thing that has changed as we move into October is the 6-minute hydration timeout is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, you forgot about that then. And it's nice out there tonight. It's supposed to be a little cooler
Well, as
tomorrow,
we moved into October, they went away with it. That was for that September time. Osborne in at quarterback. He's under center. Handoff right up the middle. Trojans again respond well to it, but not before they pick up 5. Jordan Hayes there. And Coach, 53 minutes last week in the first, and we're about 13 minutes into this one, and we're under 5 minutes to go. So a much different first quarter.
Yeah, both teams are kind of feeling each other out here, and some big play here is going to be the difference, I think.
Handoff once again. That's Hayes, and he's going to get out and pick up a 1st down. Coach, did you tell your wife last week that you quoted Shakespeare in there?
Well, I did show her that thing you sent me on my phone, and I told her something about it. I said I inadvertently said something.
Something Shakespearean.
Literary.
Right. She should have been proud of you. 4.5 remaining here, first period. 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats from their 35. Once again, just that play action now, looking to pass. That one is complete. And stop there. That was complete to Aaron Jackson on the reception. And good job of pulling that play action and getting the ball out.
Yeah, Trojans had gone to look like almost a 5-man front that time, and then they pulled the ball out and threw it. So was able to pick up another 1st down.
Good job of mixing the ball around for Ruston as well, and 2 very evenly matched teams in this one. Still no score as we play in the latter half of the first. That one handoff right up the middle. And they'll pick up 6, we believe, give them 2nd down and 4. Getting deep into Trojan territory once again to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that physical, they got a physical front 5 guys up there. They're moving the defensive front off and picking up 5 and 6 yards a pop with the run game. Need a big stop here before they get too close to the goal line.
It's one thing you know is that they do kick the ball well, special teams wise, but they're looking for that first touchdown as Ruston once again. No, there's that option. Third time we've seen it. Good pressure by the Trojans getting out there and making that tackle on the far side. And that's a big play by Caleb Andrus once again.
The Trojans on the tackle. Hayes on the carry. And Hayes.
Better job of tackling out there in the open field than we saw a couple of times early last week. I'm sure the Trojans probably worked on that in practice this week, knowing that they like to run the ball.
3rd down and 3. Give Hayes a yard on that carry. 3 minutes remaining. 3 minutes to go in the first period. No score still. You see that on your Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard across the top of your screen. Ruston's got it. 3rd down and 3. Handoff right up the middle, starting from a long way back. Second effort is going to get Hayes the first down. He just gets to the 39, and that'll stop the clock momentarily to move the sticks.
Basic high formation. Got a deep tailback and a big fullback up front leading the way, and we used to call it the wham plays. Basically, fullback leads on the linebacker, and he just follows right up the middle.
Look, I'm telling you, this must be something in the water up in Northeast Louisiana, because you just see this offense ran so much up there.
Yeah, and they got some big old guys up front, and there's a big fullback back there leading the way. So, do what you do best and keep running, I guess.
2:22 and now under 2:15 to go here. First period, 1st down and 10 from the 39. Again, there's that right up the middle, 7, 8, 9 yards, 10 yards, and where the Trojans were able to get in there and make some tackles. That big offensive line just leaning on them a little bit.
Right. That time they pulled the backside guard and trapped on the play, and had a nice hole to run, pick up the first down. About 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and Ruston's driving.
And this is one of those Ruston drives that they've wanted, just to sit there and lean on you and lean on you. That one is on the left-hand side. Walker again comes up big for the Trojans. Only a couple of yard gain there. We'll take that down to a minute and a half remaining here.
One of the linemen lost his helmet for Ruston, and they took him out and brought in and looked like a 280-pounder to replace him.
One of the young, smaller guys.
Yeah.
Minute 25 remains in the first. No score in this one. We'll try to get some other scores from around the area for you coming up tonight. We've got Buckeye playing. We've got Menard playing. You can find all of that. Fullback gets this one, and he's to the house, Coach. 5 into the end zone, touchdown. And that was the first man through. And goodness, I mean, the big flag is in the end zone, but got to believe that's still going to be the touchdown. And what a big-time run. Just everybody's around the line of scrimmage, Coach, and he's 10 yards from the end zone.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't watching real closely. It just popped it through there.
Yeah, all it did, they were keying on the back of the backfield, and before you knew it, the
referee's coming over talking to Coach, so I don't know. He's going to take it on the kickoff, I guess.
Yeah, we believe that's where it'll be. The Bearcats strike first in this one. PAT pending. We'll take our first time out. This has been a very rapidly moving first quarter.
Looks like they're going to go for 2 here. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Bearcats. Now he's
kickers lined up. They're ready to go. Again, we'll see. Findley is set to attempt the PAT. Bearcats strike first, 6-0. Big run. That one went 22 yards to the house. Extra point try is up, and it is good. Back after this, you're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
And we are back. Butch Stoker Stadium, Bearcats with a 7-0 lead in this one. The Trojans have moved the ball on that last possession, not terrible. Now you see, Coach, that they are marking off the, I guess, the unnecessary, the unsportsmanlike conduct. So Ruston will be kicking off from the 25. Jalen Johnson, JT Lindsay back deep to receive.
I like to see a good return here and get good field position, hopefully. And Trojans can return the favor and pick up a touchdown here.
Trojans have had the ball in Bearcat territory. They got the onside kick and did nothing with that one. And the Bearcats finally established their drive, and that gets us here to 7-0. A good drive capped off by that long touchdown run from the fullback, and that kick is over to Jalen. Jalen picks it up at the 21, now 25-30. Jalen trying to cross the field. Good job of cutting and getting back up.
Fumble.
Ball is on the ground, is going to be picked up and recovered by the Bearcats, and they are in business again. And this is, you start to see that Bearcat momentum, and what you cannot have is a team like Ruston that runs the ball like they do, getting there and just leaning on you offensively.
Yeah, defense has got to go right back on the field after they,
After a long drive.
After a long drive, right.
59 seconds remain here in the first.
And once again, special teams has played a boogaboo as far as the Trojans go this time. We've been fortunate to pick up things on the special teams and recovered the onside and all that. And then we turn around and give the favor back when the fumble the ball on a kickoff return.
Got to make sure,
right here.
yeah, because that last play, they just didn't really look good on 3rd and short. Back to that I formation, and there is going to be, and Coach, this after that unsportsmanlike, so the Trojans were set to have the ball in really good field position. A delay of game is whistled there. So it'll be 1st down and 15.
Ruston a little slow getting out their offense out of there on the field, and so it'll be 1st and 15.
From the 39 go the Bearcats, 1st down and 10 of the Trojans. Back to pass, going over the top, trying for the big home run. Unable to get there, incomplete down the far side. That was intended for Aaron Jackson, incomplete.
Ruston decided to take a shot that time. That would have been a killer diller there if they were able to complete it. But thank goodness we had good coverage on that one, and look for them to go back to the run game, which is primarily their cup of tea, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, and very good play calling by Coach Ball and that unit out there. You know that you were out trying to stop the run. You've got all 11 guys within 6 yards of the ball, of the line of scrimmage, Coach.
And they got an unbalanced set over here to the right side.
Saw that big heavy set that the Trojans came out in as well. There goes the option that they'll try to hit again, but unable to get there. And that was a tremendous job of work by Josh Marie. And there's a penalty flag at the end.
He just spiked the ball after he supposedly recovered, and he's going to get the big unsportsmanlike, which is not real smart.
Well, it's going to end up being a 1st down if it's against the Trojans, and it is. And look, that's just uncharacteristic there.
Coach Bogman, they had him on the sideline talking to him right now. That was not a good play on his part.
Now, letting frustration or emotion take over in this game, you cannot do. And what would have been 3rd and long now is 1st and 10 for Ruston. When your defense had been playing well on those first 3 drives or first couple of plays, Trojans hurrying people in and out on the play. 39 seconds remaining, first quarter, 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats from the Trojan 23-yard line.
A little confusion here. They're trying to decide what to do here defensively.
Goes back.
Oh.
Hayes gets it once again in the backfield. And, Coach, he's starting from about 10 yards deep. He gets that big head of steam up and finds a way. Big running back like that is as good as he goes 5'10", 160, and he gets that speed going. He's a quicker back. He said a little bit more of a home run threat for this Bearcat team. Again, that big I formation stopped there. It looked like rushing.
Hayes with the carry, stopped by rushing.
We used to, in college, we used to call this,
Brings in 3rd
pick play.
That's going to do it for the first quarter of play. When we come out of the break, it'll be 3rd down and short. Bearcats lead at 7-0. We'll be back for the second quarter right after this on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
I'll swap ends of the field here.
Switching ends, bringing up 3rd down and short. We believe it's just a couple.
When I was saying before the break there, they're running what we call a pick play. It's basically the lineman's man-on-man blocking it, hat on hat, and then the running back's got a choice of which hole to hit. It's wherever he sees the opening, and doing a good job of finding little gaps in there in the Trojan defense.
Again, great jobs on 1st down and 2nd down. Remember, this resulted following the unsportsmanlike conduct. Ruston was kicking off from their 25. Trojans had the ball in good field position, but Johnson puts it on the grass on the kick return. And then another penalty from the Trojans. So just not in character, not in form are the Trojans. We'll see as we start the second quarter of play what they're able to do. Again, that big eye backfield. Trojans crowding the line. And the problem with crowding it is if you get through it, then it ends up being a big play.
Yeah, there's nobody back there to stop him from scoring. They were able to stop him before he got to the goal line, but he was able to pick up first down there.
They'll lay the chains down. It'll be 1st and goal from inside the 10. The ball just inside the 10-yard line as we are early second quarter, 11:46. You see the score 7-0 Ruston. Fullback's got it off to the right side. He scored the last time he touched, and he continues to grind those legs and gets down to the end zone, touchdown. And Coach, just a rugby scrum from 9 yards out got Ruston into the end zone. And my goodness, what an aggressive running, just strength.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see if you're a Trojan fan. The defense is getting physically manhandled, and we've had trouble with this in the past where the offensive line is taking advantage of our defensive line and linebackers. They just moved us out that time for 10 yards basically.
First couple of games this season, the Trojans find themselves down 21-0. They're trailing 14-0 in this one. Bearcats score on back-to-back possessions. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're watching as Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
Jalen Johnson to the near side. JT Lindsay up at the far side.
Got to hold on to the football right here and get us in good field position.
So the Bearcats go down and score on a pretty long sustained drive. They kick the ball off and the Trojans fumble the ensuing kickoff. And going marching down quickly, 11:31 to go until halftime, and it's 14-0 in this one. And there's an onside kick for the Bearcats, bouncing around, and they're going to say, looks like they're going to call offsides perhaps, or that it wasn't. We'll see if it wasn't marked ready to go. But you see Ruston getting right back after, and that looks like they're going to mark offsides at 5 yards on that one. Yeah. So out ahead of the kicker, they were hurrying across the line to the ball.
That was a good thing too, because it looked like they had the ball there for a second. Tried to surprise the Trojans. I think they'll be ready for it this time, hopefully, and they can line it up like he might do it again.
You wonder if they go for it back-to-back once they saw it, because the element of surprise, first of all, is gone. Don't want to overthink things. You see the score up there, and it's not a mistake. Ruston on top 14-0 in this one. This one goes back deep to Lindsay. Lindsay hauls it in at the 15. Now Lindsay 20, spinning around. 25, good stiff arm there. Out to the 30, and will be driven out of bounds at the 33-yard line, where the Trojans will have it first down and 10. Need a big drive right here out of this one. Got to answer those couple of scores.
I'd like to see the Trojans kind of keep it cool here. I see a little jawing going on out there. That's not going to be good. Get a nice run or something, or a nice pass, and then get it called back because of unsportsmanlike.
You know, the adjustments are being made defensively. You see both the coaches on both sides of that sideline camera system. Quick pass to the near side, complete to Jones.
Should have been a penalty there. They had too many men on the field. Had too many men on the field. I think the back judgment caught it that time.
Coming in to make it,
Guy didn't get off on the sideline over there.
They'll call illegal participation.
See if they want to take the play or the penalty.
Seeing where they mark it off, where the end of the play is, I think you take the down in the 5 yards. Keep the first down. Bachman says take the penalty, I believe.
Trying to run the little NASCAR offense there and caught Ruston before they were able to get him off the field. Let's see. Big discussion here going on. And that's what it is. And it's tacked it on to the play. We'll take it.
That'll be a first down now for the Trojans out to the 43-yard line. And again, Coach, they try to run that tempo offense, and we've seen them through the season have been able to wear teams down as they've stayed tempo. But later in the season, conditioning works on it. Handoff right up the middle. That's Cunningham, who is met right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard pickup on it.
Yeah, their defensive front is whipping our offensive front right now. In that situation, they knocked us back about 3 yards.
You know, they've run that play a lot where they've got the 3 receivers that cross over the middle at different layers in there to open some things up. Those linebackers are close. Joe zips this one out to the far side, in and out of the hands. That is Jalen Johnson, unable to come up with that one. It'll bring up third down. And closing quickly on him, may have heard the footsteps coming.
Yeah, they definitely hit him dead in the chest. Trojans are not playing exactly their best game here. Hopefully they can get it worked out here in the next 10 minutes.
Jimmy Duncan checks into the slot. He likes to drag across the middle, and if he can get into space, he's got a good opportunity to run. You see the linebackers, again, are up tight on this one, and the safeties are playing back looking to prevent something over the top, so there is room in the middle of that zone.
Now they're backing out. Too much time.
Flag on the play.
Trojans look, play clock is off. Trojans are going to get whistled for delay of game. And so third down and 9 goes to third down and 14. And it has just been out of sorts for the Trojans entirely in the first, 13 minutes, 15 seconds or so of this one. 10:45 until halftime. Bearcats with a 14-0 lead. But the Trojans don't seem, I guess momentum's not that big, but they've got to go and answer these 2 scores right here to stay in this thing. They can ill afford to get down 3 scores to a team that likes to lean on you. You see 2 by 2. Joe back to pass. Pressure coming from the outside. He's got to step up in the pocket. He's getting pressured, and he's going to go down. Loss of 4. That's a sack, and it will be 4th down and 18. And they'll mark him actually at the 36. So 6-yard loss, 4th down and 16. And Joe will stay out there ready to punt.
Trojans are not looking real sharp here and offensively, and that's unfortunate.
Good pressure from the outside, but Joe tried to step up, and there was pressure on the inside as well. Hits this one low, and he kicks it off of his up back. Ball's around. The Trojans can fall on this because it is loose. Ruston has touched it. This would be huge for the Trojans if they can come out of there with this thing, because Joe kicked it off the backside of his up back. Trying to uncover it. Now it's just going to be who's got the strongest grip.
Yeah, got a scrum going on down there, like a rugby scrum.
And Ruston is going to come out of there. No, the Trojans have the football. And Coach, I don't know. Yep. He came in. Yeah, I don't know if we have that instant replay of it kicking it not that far back, but we'll have that highlight up there. Look, one of the most famous, I guess, pictures of NFL football came in that Miami game when the punter kicked the ball, and they were sure, he was deep in the end zone, so they wasn't that far from him, and I mean, right up the behind of his guy. And so what happened that made it loose is that Ruston tried to pick that one up. Yeah, and because they tried to pick it up, Joe back to pass. We'll get back to that in a moment. There's that little crossing pattern. Going to be a yard pickup to Eric Jones. But if Ruston would have just got out of the way of it, it'd have been their football.
Got another flag down. Joe got hammered that time after the pass.
May very well be roughing the passer, and this is one of those penalties that does carry an automatic first down, and that will be a first down for the Trojans as that gets tacked on. There's just 3 instances, Coach, when there's an automatic first down, and it all involves roughing, whether it's the kicker, the holder, or the quarterback.
We still our offense is not looking real sharp. Thank goodness for the penalties, because that was only about a 2-yard pickup there at best.
Take what we can get, and maybe that will ease up some of the pressure. But the Trojans deep now. They're at the 37-yard line.
Their secondary is dropping way off our receivers on this side. Looked like the slant would be open or the post route.
Handoff goes to Cunningham up the middle, but again, that interior line led by number 91, and we'll try to get his name. It's all spread around on us here. I'm going to get it, don't worry. Now it's my mission to get there.
Yeah, their defensive front's whipping our offensive front right now.
Jones has it. Eric Jones to the house. 5. Touchdown. No penalties on the field. And that is going to be the first touchdown of the night for the Trojans. And I'm sitting there missing the call as I'm looking down. And I hear all the excitement going on in the press box. Big time play, big time pass and catch. And the Trojans are on the board.
But we got it on the video, so here it is.
There's the instant replay. Thank you, Chuck, for that one. Quick pass out to Jones, and he gets it good blocking from Mingo, and it's just Eric getting to the corner, and he's going to go to the house. Touchdown, Eric Jones. Touchdown, Trojans. Mingo out there set to run that swinging gate. Closes it just a little bit of a new wrinkle now. They don't shut it all the way. And now they run the double reverse. And that's going to be.
Got too fancy that time.
It looked nifty, but they get nothing out of it, dude. The Trojans. 14-6, one-score game in this one. And that's penalties, Coach, a turnover, and just what the Trojans needed there. 14-6 in this one.
Had to get back in it some kind of way because it was looking bad for the Trojans there to begin with.
Yeah, we'll stay right here. Go ahead, Coach.
Offense come through. Defense has got to make a stop here. That we hadn't been able to stop them in the last couple of series. They just pounding on us, and we've got to find an answer. I don't know what it is. Physically up front, they're big. And
well, the two styles of play have been what have scored both touchdowns for both teams, Coach. Big physical running of the ball by Ruston, and a quick hitting pass by the Trojans.
Yeah, well, I talked about it earlier in the keys to the game, and the two teams that we've had trouble with is the teams that are physical running teams and early in the year, and so far Ruston has done exactly that, just manhandles up front and basically run at will.
When it got to 14-0, you were wondering, is this another one of those games where the Trojans start out down 21-0, but they've got it back to just a one-score game here, albeit needing the 2-point conversion to get things going.
Oh, well, it was
And this
offsides.
Is going to be called offsides and out of bounds, but it was whistled dead prior to it because the offsides makes it a dead ball.
Yeah, it was big time offsides. The whole left side over there, the kicker kind of slowed down.
Well, and that's what the timing was off on the kicker. And how important, Coach, is that? Because the timing of it. These guys aren't just watching him go down there.
Yeah, they got to watch him. He's the one that sets the whole thing going, and he's got to have his feet just right in order to do the onside. So now look for him to kick it deep, I would think.
A little bit of a stutter step there, and already not making it to the end zone. They do get a little bit further than this. But return man for the Bearcats, you see him camped out around the 18-yard line.
Might try a little sky kick here, possibly.
This is Channing Mesh. We had seen Van Dyke kick off earlier in this one, so rotating kickers here. 14-6. Second quarter we go. That's a short kick, angling to the sideline at the 30, trying to cross field, and now will come back and dropped out of bounds at the 33. Good job coming up.
Looks like number 7 on the tackle there for the Trojans.
Josh Marie is there in the tackle. And now that defense that had been hanging around, albeit a penalty or so that cost them a couple, have an opportunity here to stop things and get this thing back tied up. 9:07 until halftime. 9:07 here until halftime.
Dwight Minor and some of those down guys are going to have to pick the game up here. Bryce Rushing, all those guys have got to be more physical. Our linebackers, they got to come meet them because they're going to do what they do, and that's run.
Back to the shotgun goes the Bearcats,
Power
still
out.
handing the ball off up the middle. And that's relief, Coach, because last play we saw them push the line of scrimmage ahead 9 yards and get into the end zone, but a stop there for no gain will make it 2nd down and 10.
Well, and that's something that the defensive front's got to stay low and not stand up and get driven back, and they did a good job that time.
8:47 until halftime. 2 receivers to the top. Back in the shotgun again. Trojans look to show pressure. Nobody to the side. Opportunity to come off of that. Barajas looking to come in. Stays home. Handoff up the middle. And a good job. Ellis goes nowhere up the middle of the field. And, Coach, that interior line, solid there. The 2 times that they've scored. And watch Ellis as he gets the ball in the backfield. And he just goes straight up the middle. But that's the time you did not see any penetration from that, or you didn't see any movement from the offensive line. It's all penetration from that defense. Officially give him a yard, make it 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, this big series right here, big play. If we can get them stopped and then make them punt the ball, then Trojans will be right back in it.
3 receivers to the top, 1 in the near side, now an empty backfield. Looking down the field, trying to go over the top, in and out of the hands, and no, it nearly picked off. Blackwell on the coverage back there, knocked it away. And that is 4th down, Coach. And that's exactly how you want to answer an offensive set from a team that goes up 14-0 after you come back and score.
Right, and then they're not comfortable throwing the ball, so even though they tried it that time, that's not their game. And anytime you can get them behind the chains or at least a long yardage, it's to the advantage of the Trojans, I think.
West Monroe out in front of Pineville up there at the university, and it's 28-0. Menard 7-0 over Pickering, and Buckeye and Bolton are scoreless. Back deep to receive are the Trojans. That little rugby style as you run around from it. Bouncing around, everybody's got to get away from it. And so the last touchdown, Coach, resulted following the kick that went off the backside of the up back, and Ruston tried to get on the ball. Were unable to. Trojans go down the field, borderline Derrick Jones, and then a 3-and-out defensively. And here comes Joe and that offense ready to get back down the field.
Yeah, they'd like to see them click like they did that last series, and a nice pitch and catch and run. And that's one good thing about the Trojans. They have a quick strike offense, unlike Ruston, who's traditionally a run, and they like to get the lead and stay with it.
Franklin Parish on top of Grant locally, 14-0. That one is. Cunningham's going to take it to the near side and get stood up at the line of scrimmage.
You got to give Ruston credit. They got some big hosses up front defensively and offensively, and we're not able to move them too much.
Jones and Mingo back to the near side. That's Jalen Johnson in man coverage up at the top, 2nd down and 9. Joe with Cunningham in the backfield. He brings Duncan in motion. Zip throw out to Johnson.
Tried to run before he caught it. He managed to hang on, but
and good piece of tackling open field by Ruston as they stop that play from getting a bigger 3rd down and 6. Now the Trojans have an opportunity with 6.5. Good pressure that time, but and falling down. Mingo gets that one and actually going to lose yardage. They try to throw that little wide receiver screen complete, but Mingo falls once he catches it, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
He said it was incomplete.
They called it in. No, the clock's running. So 4th down and 10, the loss of 4 on that, and not what you wanted for the Trojans following that big stop. But I'd like to see Joe get a little more height on this kick.
Yeah, I bet the up back would too.
That's much better. Good hang time on that one. Results in a fair catch. Going to bounce around and take a big Trojan roll down to the 30-yard line where it will fall dead there. 5:54 to go until halftime. And, Coach, 53 minutes last week in the first quarter. We're 45 minutes into this one and nearing halftime.
Yeah, this is a little bit different situation here, both on the field, time-wise and game-wise.
Trojan defense is going to be called on once again. Bearcats have it from inside the 30. They actually mark the nose of the football at the 30-yard line. 5:54 remaining until halftime, 14-6. Bearcats have the lead.
They might take a shot right here, I would think. Yep. Nope.
Handoff right up the middle. That's and met their interior line of the Trojans. Got to get him down on the ground, though. Jeffers right in there, and that will be a 2-yard pickup. 2nd down and 8. Actually, they give him 1, 2, yeah, roughly 3. 2nd and 7, along 7.
Yeah, that's their game.
Well, this is what we saw in Ruston their first 2 drives, Coach, just methodically trying to do something, albeit just a 1st down play, but they get back under center and out of that shotgun formation, back into the eye. Fullback gets it right up the middle. This time he falls. Jeffers right there once again. Jeffers right on the tackle. Jeffers right. Another 3 yards. And, Coach, this is some old school football, 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
This dive football, give it to the fullback, or lead with the fullback and give it to the tailback. There's no big secret there. Just who can whoop who.
Coach said that's a submarine offense. Yeah. Dive. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Yeah, 4:43 remaining in this one until the half. Play action now, looking to pass, rolling, finds a man wide open, turns him around on it, but that is a big 1st down pass and catch for the Bearcats, and good job of getting out of the pocket, moving that pocket to the top for the quarterback.
Looks like a drag route, I think. He came from the backside at any rate, and he was uncovered.
Just a great job on the reception, Coach, as he had to turn around and grab that one. 1st down and 10, 39-yard line of the Trojans.
Back to the run.
Goes right up the middle, and here's that interior line of the Trojans. And love to see them rip one out of there as they're banging around inside that line of scrimmage.
Pretty close. 4 minutes and counting almost here, and Ruston be satisfied to just pound it down. And like I said, and they got a pretty good field goal kicker from what I saw in the pregame. He was kicking them from about 40 yards out.
You want to keep it away from the Trojans and not give them an opportunity to score right before the half, because they do get the ball coming out at the 2nd. Winding down the play clock, looking things over, 3:42. And
Somebody must have moved.
Dead ball, false start against the Bearcats, and that'll back them up behind the chain. So it turns 2nd and 9 into 2nd and 14, and that's what you need out of this.
Look for a screen or a draw here. I don't think they might come back with that same play with the drag, but they'd like to get you in a run situation and throw it.
Whatever they're doing, they are certainly running running some yardage off here. The clock will start, and it does. 3:39 and counting until halftime. 14-6. Bearcats on top. 2 receivers to the near side. That I formation is there, and quarterback.
Check with me at the line of scrimmage. Option.
Going to run the option this way. Unable to get it. The pitch is out there. Good job of staying home. And the helmet is going to come off of Frazier, and he's going to have to come out of there. But that'll be 3rd down now, and 13-14. Good piece of open field tackling. So, Coach, you know they worked on the option this week in practice.
No doubt, and that was an excellent pitch because he was in the grasp and was still able to get it out to the tailback on the pitch there. It's going to be 3rd and big.
And that's exactly how you want to run the option, is hang on to it the very last second before you pitch it out of there. Empty backfield, and the Trojans may call timeout, and they do. We'll take it with them. There are 2:42 remaining until halftime. 14-6, Bearcats lead this one back in 30 seconds on 446 Sports.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Back to live action we go. 3rd down and 14. And, Coach, again, it seems like we've said it all night, but another big opportunity on 3rd down for the Trojans.
Right. Then I think they came out in 5 wide receivers that time, and the Trojans weren't ready for it. That's the reason they called a timeout, I do believe. And here they come back with it again.
And watch the quarterback draw. He is a runner. Spread him out, run the draw. Right up the middle. There it was. That play was called. And, man, going to make his way all the way down to the 10-yard line. And, Coach, that's just classic dual-threat running quarterback offense. Spread them out, run the draw.
Yeah, and apparently they had seen it ahead of time and just didn't react to it. And they picked up a big 1st down and almost in, 4-down territory for sure.
And with that, I don't think it was necessarily designed to get the first. You certainly will take it, but you want to get half or more of the yardage. Handoff goes up the middle. Good job on that Trojan defense to stop it there. It's going to be 2nd down and goal, 2:14. And, boy, this is the worst thing you wanted was for Ruston just to grind out all of this time, Coach. I think only 3 or 4 possessions per team in this first half.
Right, they're controlling the pace of the game, and that's basically what they want to do. They don't want the Trojans to have the offense too much here.
Down under 2 minutes, 1:54 remaining until halftime. 2nd down and goal.
Watch the quarterback here.
For the Bearcats, handoff goes right up the middle, grinding the legs, getting down near the end zone. Touchdown, Bearcats.
Once again, we just got physically whipped up front. Then they got men on our linebackers, and the running back did a nice job of carrying it in the end zone.
Just never stopping, churning the legs, and that's what's done it there. 20-6 now in this one. And the Trojans have a little bit of time to get down there, but they're going to have something big happen if they want to get this back to 1-score game. Kick is up, and it is good. 21-6, back in 30. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
look for them to probably ground pound it down the field. I don't think they'll kick it deep.
Jalen Johnson to the near side. J.T. Lindsay closest to the Bearcats bench. The Trojans still have 1:40 remaining until half, and you know that this offense is geared towards scoring quickly and will take an opportunity at it. Have to hang on to the football here on this kickoff. 1:40 to go. Coming up at halftime, we're going to let you hear the sights and sounds of the band. They're getting ready to go.
Onside again.
Onside kick is there. And if the Trojans have it, they're going to have it at midfield. And
I can't believe they did that.
Well, that plays right into the hands of the Trojans here, only giving them a short field right there.
I tried to catch Trojans sleeping that time, but like I say, it gives them only 50 yards to go for a touchdown, and that definitely helps us.
I think it was pretty close to here when he hit Jones on the sideline, and Jones takes it out. It was about 15 yards up the field, but the Trojans come out 3 to the near side, 1 to the top. Joe calls for the ball, a little bit of a quick play action, and zips that one to Mingo, complete to the 40-yard line, throws the fastball in there, that a sliding stop.
It's a Trojan first down.
Clock will stop momentarily at 1:33. Now starts back up once the chains are set. 2 by 2 on the offense. Handoff goes up the middle. Cunningham spinning around and is going to be dropped down at the 36-yard line. 1:23. Trojans now have to come with a little bit of pace.
It almost looked like a face mask, but I guess it wasn't.
1:15 and 14 now, nearing 1 minute remaining. Trojans have it 2nd down and 6. Back to passes. Joe, here comes pressure. That inside in the middle is caught. Spinning around is Mingo to the 10, now 5.
Pick up a first down.
Down to the 5-yard line, and the Trojans will continue with that tempo at 1 minute even on the clock. Ball is set. Clock will stop momentarily to get chains set. 1st down and goal from the 5. Good job of pitch and catch. Now Cunningham again. Bangs around, stretches the ball out, touchdown! Gatlin Cunningham, touchdown Trojans. And how about that one coming right back?
Yeah, I just can't get over the fact that Ruston didn't kick it, at least pound it down the field and not onside it.
You know, I understand what they were trying to do, get the ball back, but man, the risk versus reward, Coach, I don't get that.
Yeah, cut your field in half. At least, you know, I could see them kicking it, worm burner down to about the 25 or 30, and looks like we're going to go for a single.
Set to kick now, 21-12 in this one. Snap is back behind Mingo, but he pulls it in. Kick, hold is down, kick is up. Van Dyke nails this one. 21-13, the Trojans answer right back, 51 seconds. Coach, let's keep it right here, and again, assess that one. You know, risk versus reward. Yes, if you get the ball back, that's great, but if you don't, you give your opponents the ball at midfield, and you give them momentum, and they get the ball to start the second half.
Right. I just don't understand that one. Like I say, if you're not going to kick it deep, then at least, you know, do the worm burner thing and try to, you know, kick it to the 25 or 30, even kick it out of bounds, and Trojans would have it at the 35 at best. So, you know, instead of giving it to them at the 50, but
surely, you know, the Trojans don't onside kick it here.
We haven't been able to stop them. Of course, they're not known to throw it deep too often, but we haven't been able to stop the run, and if they get it on the 50, they may run it down.
It's Mesh's turn this time. He will stand in there to kick this one off. Again, 51 seconds remaining until halftime. And we're getting the score updated. It is 21-13.
Hayes is back to return for the Bearcats.
Yeah, it'll catch up there momentarily with it again, 21-13. That is a sky kick, called for a fair catch, and caught at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, I could have seen them doing that a while ago, but Ruston got to see where they're actually going to run the ball, but they can throw it. I have seen them in that crossing route a while ago. They had the guy coming across the field was wide open.
Well, and again, though, the Trojans were pinned up deep trying to stop the run. There you go. That gets things all right. 51 seconds remain, and the Bearcats come out. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts. I don't believe anybody's taking a timeout in this one.
Well, no, I think Trojans did.
Ash took one, that's right. Getting some help over here is 3 receivers to the near side, so Chris Clark makes his way over here.
Comes the
Quarterback's going to draw.
On the run, and he's brought down.
They bring him down that time.
Yeah, he's a quick little rascal, I'd say that. That's the quicker quarterback, I guess.
Hurrying to the line is Ruston. 34 seconds remain here until halftime. Back to pass, looking deep. Trojans need a break. It's not. It's caught. Out near midfield. Clock will stop with 23 seconds to set the chains. And again, Ruston has all of theirs. All they've got to do is get into field goal range.
Timeout.
And they will take that first one. So they're about 20 yards, Coach, I'd say, out of field goal range. Because, again, you told us that field goal kicker had a pretty strong leg.
Yeah, he was kicking it. He's setting it on about the 32-yard line, and so that's 40, right at 42 yards.
Again, 23 seconds to go until halftime. We play here in the second.
I would think that they've got to have some kind of trickeration play, a reverse pass or something, because that's going to be tough unless they can bust one right up the middle with the quarterback. 23 seconds is not a lot of time to be able to run the ball.
West Monroe picks up a safety. They lead that one 30-0. Pineville made the trip up to West Monroe today. 23 seconds to go. Bearcats have it first down and 10 from midfield. Back to pass. Surveying, going over the top with a nice looking pass near no one. And that one's going to be in the air, incomplete. Took 16 seconds off the clock there. 17 remaining. Or having some issues with our scoreboard, but I think we've got it right now, yeah. Again, we know the score is correct up there. It's 21-13. Bearcats have the lead. It is the second quarter, 17 seconds until halftime. Second down and 10 from midfield. Like to see the Trojans. This is one of those times we need John Barajas for a little pick six. Back to pass for the Bearcats. Good pressure. That's going to be a big-time hit. And Jeffers Wright coming up and putting a pretty good lick on the Bearcat quarterback. Not sure if they're going to call that flag. See the flag that is out. And they're going to call pass interference. 12 seconds, so time for a couple of more plays. It'll move it down 10 yards. 35-yard line, so down into field goal range. Maybe still 5 to 7 yards out of field goal range, but again, you got to watch for the Bearcats to bust that big play.
I'd look for the quarterback. If they go 5 wides here, look for the quarterback up the middle again and try to get it in field goal range.
You got one man in the backfield with him, though. 4 wide receivers back to pass once again. There goes throwing it over the top. Got a man open.
And right through his hands.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Goodness gracious, that one was close, and that does run the clock out.
That's the end of your first half.
Telling you, that was an interesting shot. I don't know if you have a shot at that last one, Chuck, and he doesn't.
I thought he called touchdown.
I thought he had his hands up for touchdown in that one as well. And looked like they may put a second or two back on the clock because nobody is gone.
Trying to.
Now, what you've got to watch out for, they're putting a lot of time back on, so 6 seconds back there. A pass interference down there deep, something that could give you an untimed down also. 6 seconds remain here until halftime. 21-13. Buckeye on top of Bolton, 19-15 in that one. Menard out on top of Pickering, 14-0. That is on the other side of our 446 Sports.
And the Trojans call a timeout.
We'll get a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. We don't really want to step away from this one. But, Coach, you look down there in the corner, and it almost looked like
he got his hands up, and then he called time.
And then he called it there. I think they were looking at the clock, too, because it had expired on there. But a pass like that's not going to take the full 11 seconds.
Yeah, well, you got 2 choices here. You can hit a short, quick one and get a quick timeout, or you can try to hit the big bomb here.
The clock will stop. They've got a timeout left, does Ruston. Clock will also stop on a first down, but you won't have time to get up there and clock it, but you'd have time to get and call the timeout. That last play took about 5 seconds off the clock. There was 11 there, so if they go back with that same one, but I agree with you, the leg of your kicker, you try to get something, maybe a little wide receiver screen, or the last time we saw the 5 receivers here, the 5 wideouts, quarterback just took it right up the middle.
Here's the old prevent defense.
That leaves a lot of room open in the middle. Back to pass.
And there
now
goes the
stepping up. Time is going to expire here, and he stepped out right before, and that will do it, we think, for the half, and it does. And Coach, that's what we told you, that you got to be careful of running too far down the field because you're going to run the clock out, and didn't have time to do that. Tried to get in the end zone, but because that Trojan defense was so far back, we're able to come up and force them to go out of bounds. So we sit here at halftime, 21-13, and a lot of points in the game in this one, but Trojans still have an opportunity to get back in this one, just down a score at the half.
Yeah, we did a better job in the last couple of running series where the defensive linemen are doing a better job of not standing up and getting high because Ruston's got a big front, and they were able to push us back, especially down on the goal line. And anytime you do that and you stand up, they get you on your heels and roll you out of there. So I'm sure they'll make some adjustments at halftime, both coaching staffs, and by no means the Trojans are out of this one, but we've got to do a better job of stopping the run and continue to move the ball on offense.
Just a 1-touchdown game. Trojans trail by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. The Trojans, the one thing, Coach, as we look ahead to the second half that historically this season they have not done is scored on that first drive out of the half. They've had it several times, but have yet to put a touchdown in on an opening drive to start the second half. Can they do it here? We'll see when we come back. We're going to send it out to halftime and let you watch the sights and sounds of the Ash Trojan Band. We'll see you back in about 15 minutes here on 446 Sports.
There was a huge assembly, and when he came to the gym, he announced it.
I would like to honor a warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes!
Got there, and then we went to Santa Monica Pier, and the water felt good, and I found a bunch of cool rocks. And then we went to The Voice the next day. I got to meet Admiral Levine after the show, which was amazing.
I'm Bob Giles, and I believe every business should give back. Join me at gilesgivesback.com.
Tonight's split the pot winner is Rick Mitchell. Rick Mitchell is tonight's split the pot winner. You can get your money at the front gate. Look for the ladies with the pink shirts on.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, The trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
If you could fly, you can play hide and go seek in the clouds. I want to be a pilot. So you can see the whole entire world. If you could fly, you could see the whole world whenever you want.
You're really gonna go on a plane with a pilot. Seriously. Your dream's gonna come true.
Please join us in supporting Dreams Come True of Louisiana. Donate today at gilesgivesback.com.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
There was a huge assembly, and then he came to the gym and he announced it.
I would like to honor a warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes!
Got there, and then we went to Santa Monica Pier, and the water felt good, and I found a bunch of cool rocks, and then we went to The Voice the next day. I got to meet Admiral Levine after the show, which was amazing.
I'm Bob Giles, and I believe every business should give back. Join me at gilesgivesback.com.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
And welcome back to the second half of action, getting ready to get underway. 21-13, Trojans trail in this one, Coach, but to get the ball to start the second half. Just a 2-point conversion that they missed early, so you know when they score this touchdown on this drive that they're going to have to go for 2, try to get the thing knotted up at 21. But down 14-0, they responded well and put up a couple of touchdowns on their own.
Yeah, it was looking pretty bleak there when they were down 14-0, and Ruston was pretty much had their way with them, and they made a turning around and got back in the game, and it's back to contest now.
A lot of resiliency and a lot of fight out of these Trojans, and goodness, Coach, they just need to cap off a drive to start the second half. I don't think that they've done that this season in meaningful action, and I mean that one of those that weren't just a blowout. Had an opportunity to extend the thing against East Ascension and unable to do so, and so this is a time they need to come out and really work on things. You saw Joe at halftime there as he was warming up, working on a lot of intermediate throws and throwing the ball 10, 15 yards, and he looked pretty spot on at that point. Of course, there was no big defensive line coming at him at that point, but we'll see what Lindsey and Johnson are able to do.
Yeah, I think the underneath routes are, like you say, they're dropping their safeties way out, and linebackers sometimes they're stunting them, sometimes they're not, but still I think the middle of the field and crossing routes underneath are open if they want to go to it.
Fans, we invite you to join us next Thursday night at Walk-On. Had a sold-out crowd 3 of the 4 last weeks, and really have a great time out there. Come out and see us. We broadcast the Thomas Bachman Show live from 7 until 8, and we're going to give a pair of Ole Miss and LSU tickets away next week to somebody that's in the crowd. So you'll make sure
I don't qualify for that.
You don't qualify for that, but we may let you drive them down there. How's that?
Yeah, well, I'm driving everybody else, seems like, here lately, but I actually don't have anybody to drive this coming Thursday, so I might be there.
There you have it. Jalen Johnson back deep. You see JT Lindsey going back there with him. Mingo and Duncan are up close in the middle of those guys as Tanner Townsend.
I'd like to see them get a return right here. I think Ruston will probably kick it deep. They've tried the onside and everything else, so they might do the little sky kick here possibly.
Been doing it. They're getting the clock reset as it's set at 0 here. And we will get this third quarter started just as soon as they are ready for play.
They just reset the clock there, Doug.
I have no control over that. Wrong, Doug. 21-13, you see the score
other guys are Doug.
at the Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard up there in the top. A big shout out to Wallace Eye Associates and that group for all the work that they do for us here, and they are proud supporters, not of us, but of local high school athletes, and for that we thank you. To the folks at Wallace Eye Associates, a foot into this one, back deep, chases Lindsey to the 5, or to the 1. He gets it just shy of the goal line. Got to make the first man miss, and does. Turns back to the inside. It's going to be dropped shy of the 20. And
I think he would have been better to cut it back up. He tried to go around the outside, and he had some blocking along the hash mark there, but he chose to go outside and going to start in not real good field position, about 17.
Tried to cross things up. Not their worst starting field position tonight as they started that drive out on the 3 following that punt that was down. Ruston drops off the ball a little bit while Trojans come out in a 3-by-1 set. Joe rolling now, slinging this one out, in and out of the hands. Right into the gut of Jalen. He is unable, and that's that fastball that gets in there in the hurry. But Jalen's got to pull that one in.
You got to catch that. He was trying to run before he caught it, and he just didn't put a hand in. You don't want to start out now. You're behind the 8 ball.
That's where the Trojans had success, was that quick hitting pass, and it has pulled. You know, when we first saw the first few plays, Ruston was within 5 or 6 yards of the ball. Goes Cunningham to the 22. It's going to be spun around again. They'll give him 3 yards on the play, maybe just a couple. But Coach, you have 3rd and 8 now on following that dropped first down pass, and boy, that's not
the way you want to start.
Not the way you wanted to do it. See if you can get past that middle line and just inside the safeties. Joe calls for it. He's got good pressure. There's that inside screen. Jones has it. Jones got to make a man miss and does. Eric Jones down to the 40, 45, 50. Goes Jones. Dragged it down inside Bearcat territory at the 37. Big time play. Eric Jones pulling that one in, and he has been Joe's big target tonight.
I'm impressed with his speed. That dude can motor, man. He can scoot.
3 to the top now, 1 to the near side. Joe and that offense just waiting on the chains. They don't even get set. Here comes Joe again rolling. Dumps that one off to Jalen. Jalen trying to make somebody miss. Spun around. Dropped down to the 30. Got that play going before the chains had even gotten set.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do that same action and then do a little pump fake and then hit him on the deep one, because they're going to bite on it here in a minute.
Boy, Eric Jones with over 100 yards receiving in this game on a couple of catches. Handoff right up the middle. Going to be near first down. Churning those legs, and they'll mark him. Boy, left foot, right foot, we'll see.
Still standing up kind of high there, running the ball and the defensive line. Of course, they got some big old guys up there on that defensive front.
Watch the switch that was made. Jones had been the outside receiver, Mingo at the slot, and now they swap Mingo and Jones onto the near side. 3rd down and inches for the Trojans. Joe looks back, hands the ball now. First down for the Trojans. That's going to get to the line. And his initial forward progress got the first to the 25, just outside the 25.
They got some big old guys up there. I tell you what, they've only got a 3-man front, but they're bringing 1 or 2 linebackers every time. So
officials are going to measure, but the ball was just past the line. So or the nose of the football's there. Say he's going to have it by about 3 lengths of the chain.
That's where your chain crew over there shorten it up on when they twist it a little bit.
Great camera work, getting right inside that. Still got to stretch it out. Got the first down, and old Eagle Eye Doug, they call me. Those of you that, right. Yeah, goodness gracious.
And you're not even wearing the glasses, huh?
No glasses at all, but yeah, big time first down. And 25-yard line, the nose of the football rests right there. 9:47 and counting, so a good drive by the Trojans to open things up in the 3rd. Got to pay this one off. 2 receivers to the near side, kind of a bunch set to the top, the short side of the field. Joe back to pass now. Got some pressure up the middle. Breaks out of it. Going to be slung forward for 5, and we'll take that. Joe did a great job, Coach, of falling backwards, but it ended up forwards because he was turned around.
Right. And they're only bringing 3 guys, and occasionally, like I say, they're bringing a linebacker, but they're still putting pressure on Joe.
Wide side of the field is the near one, but now the 3 wide receivers find their way over here. 1 lone receiver's at the top. Joe calls for the ball. Handoff, getting some room. Just burying his head goes Cunningham, and Cunningham getting inside the 15 to the 14. And Coach, Cunningham didn't run a lot in the first half, so he's got to be rested and ready to go.
Right, and I think the place to go is attacking it to the outside. They got them all spread out and leaving a better chance to run.
Joe's got Cunningham. Datlin gets it again right up the middle and spun around. Good shot right in the middle. We'll see who that young man is when he gets up.
Looks like number 83.
93 makes that play. And you got to piece it together, Coach. That's difficult. Yeah, that's why I quit going to that. Good job. Look at the Trojans with a 4-minute drive of their own in this one. 2nd down and 8, can get the first down at the 5. Got to pay this drive off. Cunningham goes out in motion now. Joe looks at the slant. Johnson's in and out of the hands. Unable to get there is Jalen. And we've seen Jalen catch those before out near, and here it is 3rd down and 8 once again.
I think he had the swing man on that particular one, and he decided to go for the little curl route.
Trojans brought Cunningham in motion out of the backfield to bring Harrington back in as a blocking back, who will switch places with Duncan. Substitutions made on that Ruston Bearcat side as well, as Ruston just settles into defensive formation. 8 minutes, 9 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Trojans trail 21-13. Joe calls for the ball, looking back to pass. Got the wheel out of the backfield, bouncing around, incomplete.
Could have waited just a hair longer. He had him with the nice recovery by the secondary.
Now you wonder if you bring in Mesh to try to get this thing within the touchdown and 2-point conversion, and they are bringing the field goal unit out onto the field. The thing that we question is that there had been some trouble with the snap. Don't see the kicker, and they're going to have to call timeout. And Mesh did not get out on the field.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but he's not just become a football player, and is not used to being on the call there, I guess.
That's just enough to make Coach Bachman think about it, as Mesh now will get the tee as he's just getting down to the field. Not sure what he was doing, wasn't warming up down there either. And they'll trot him out there, Coach, and have to calculate where this is going to be from.
Looks like about
They'll
the
tee
20.
the ball up at the 19. We'll make it a 29-yard attempt from the middle of the field. His longest is 34 on the season. This to get it within the touchdown and 2-point conversion. Mingo, the holder, calls for the ball. Snap is back, hold is there, kick is up, and it is good. 21-16. Good kick by. Look, I don't need to. I just run out there and kick it right at the end, and we'll all be all right. 30-second timeout coming up. Trojans 21, or Bearcats 21. Trojans 16. Back after this.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Back to live action we go, and 7:57 to go in this third quarter. Opening drive results in a field goal, and the Trojans, who had missed the 2-point conversion, Coach, now that makes it where you don't have to chase points anymore. That gets it within that 2-point conversion range, if you will. Just a 5-point lead for the Bearcats, who started out 14-0. Trojans have outscored them 16-7. Since that point, still have a little bit of work to go as Van Dyke sits there ready to tee this one up.
Yeah, we get a stop here and then get back on offense. And here we
another
go.
onside kick. Trojans have a chance at a ball on the ground, and the Trojans are going to have it. Trojan football. And how many onside kicks can teams get in games where their line just falls back?
You think it would after a while it'd put all 10 up there, and then if they do kick it deep, they just kick it deep. You know?
At some point, you've got to be there covering that.
Yeah, I mean, if you were playing a Vols, you'd know for sure that they were going to do it every time. But this is not a Vols, and Ash is not known to onside it every time. But after a couple of times, you think they'd figure it out, huh?
Look, if this is not classic Ash Ruston football game, I don't know what is. 21-16, 7:54. Trojans still a possession back.
Pulling out all stops. Now we got a question here. Coach on that side must have a question. I don't know. Back judge come running up.
Well, they don't come to us for video review. We know that. They will get, that gives an opportunity. E.J. Scott makes his way out. He swaps places with Jalen. I think that Jalen's helmet had come off on that play.
Oh, okay.
On the kickoff, or he took it off or something at the end of that play, and so had to get him out of there, and that was the play that's called there. Back to passes, Joe. Good protection. That ball is caught. Out to 35, down to the 30.
He's having a heck of a game, man.
That is E.J. Correct. Let me see. That's
number 12.
First down.
And that was E.J. Scott, who had just come in on that play to replace Johnson, Coach.
Oh, He made a heck of a catch and run, and we got the NASCAR cranked up here.
1st and 10, 7:37. Trojans trying to get their first lead of the ball game. Back to Joe. Gives it to Cunningham up the middle. And what you're doing is grinding on that Ruston defense and grinding on that Ruston defense. You've been out there for 5 minutes of this quarter while the Ruston offense is set on the sideline.
And keeping them off the field is a good thing.
2nd down and 6 inside the 25 to the 24. Back to pass is Joe. Good pressure. Tipped up, going to be intercepted at the 10-yard line. And that's that tip drill, and not anywhere around the receiver. As a good job with the linebacker, tipped that ball up. And you'll see.
I don't know who Joe was going to on that one because it didn't seem to be
watch
anybody
the
in the area.
instant replay here is Joe back to pass, and it was just tipped. Yeah, nobody was in there. He was going for Mingo on the play, but it was tipped short of him. And once the ball's up in the air, it's anybody's at that point. Great camera work out there from our slew of cameramen that are working this one. Great job to all of them.
And look for Ruston to grind the ball here again, I would think.
Oh, a turnover following that onside kick. So a couple onside kick recoveries end up with nothing. Handoff right up the middle, and this is not what you need. Big time play. That is Hayes up the middle, gets 12 on the play.
That's the old wham right there. Just lead with the fullback, tailback following, and they lead on the linebacker, and he picked up a big first down.
Boy, the Trojans had it a long time here in this one. Got the one field goal, but unable, and man, had a good shot at it right there. .640 to go, third quarter. Back in that big, strong offensive line set. Hayes carries it once again, and he is met at the line of scrimmage once again.
Done a better job that time filling the hole.
2nd down and 9. Jeffers Wright is in there with that interior line of the Trojans, and just need them to get settled back down because they're after that first 14 points that were put up. One of them on the long run from the fullback and one of them on that 9-yard carry. The Trojans' defense has been rather solid.
With a 4-man, 3 linebacker front.
Handoff there again. It just it might have been slowed down enough and was for the defense. Goodness gracious, John Barajas able to save that one, but he got bumped off. He was gathering up ahead of steam and running was that Ruston running back. 5:53. Same play once again, just a little bit different result. But, I mean, you hear that term running downhill, Coach, and that's so what Ruston does. I've used the term lean on you, and they do that continuing to run the football.
Yeah, and their offensive line, you got to give them credit too. Now they're moving our guys. They got some big fellas up there, and they're opening up some holes that I believe I could make a few yards. Once again, trap.
Coming now, the quarterback's got it to the near side. Osborne's going to be driven out of bounds, but not before he picks up see where they mark him. Official to the near side has him short. Official to the far side marked what he thought was the first. The ball sits on the 43-yard line, so a yard shy. 3rd down and 1.
They're moving the ball pretty quickly as well now on their offensive side. They're not wasting any time.
No, and this is a tempo running game. Got to have a big stop here, but you got to believe that Ruston is in 4-down territory anywhere they're at on the field from a yard away. Osborne under center now. He's back to pass. They're trying to take a shot at it. Dumps that one off and sliding around. They'll call that complete. Looked like he had slid out of bounds when he caught it. But 1st down and 10. 4:36 to go, third quarter of play. Ouachita rolling up. That's our opponent next week, 69-7 in their game. That game's in the third quarter. That's a handoff up the middle, and he's gone. And that has been that play that we've seen over and over, Coach, as Jordan Hayes busts one up the middle. And you go from a 1-score game and you're marching, you throw the pick, and now it's back to a 2-score game.
You got to give them credit now. the backs are running hard. Their offensive line is blowing some holes up on our defensive front. They're putting a hat on a hat, and we haven't been able to stop them here.
27-16, and goodness, Trojans had an opportunity to get their first lead of it, but what a change of events that was. And a no-huddle tempo type of run game for the Bearcats as they really worked tempo. That kick is up, and it is good. 28-16. Back after this, you're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Lock On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Back to live action here in Alexandria. Bearcats efficiently get down the field. They lead this one 28-16. Now 12-point lead for Ruston, as the Trojans had gotten it a little closer and were poised following that onside kick. And Coach, do you expect an onside kick from Ruston here?
I think they would be better to kick it deep, but you never know.
Trojans are certainly set up for that, the deep kick, and it is Lindsey lets it go into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. Good job of striking the football there.
That was a form of NASCAR offense by the Ruston Bearcats there. It wasn't a passing thing, but it was a flat running thing, boy.
And the Trojans never were able to just get in any rhythm as Ruston just pounded away, and Hayes hits the hole, and he's gone.
Yeah.
4:21 to go in the third quarter of this one. See what the Trojans are able to do. Joe back out on the field following that interception. Was intended for Mingo and tipped up in the air. Borderline back to pass again. There's that little inside screen that in and out of the hands of Eric Jones. He drops it. Jones has been the most sure-handed of the receivers tonight, as he's taken it down the field a couple of times. Missed on that one, and you have no choice but to get down there and get some points back now, Coach.
Yeah, Ruston staying with that 3-3 front, 3 linemen and 3 linebackers.
Yeah, a little 3-3-5 so that they get enough coverage out of it. Joe is going to take off and run, ducks his head, and really unable to get going in that one. Not the speed to get past those big linemen. Saw a hole and tried to get there, but 3rd down and 7.
Got to give Ruston defense credit. Their guys react to the ball. Their front 3 guys, they got speed and their size as well, and then the linebackers are pretty quick also.
Back to pass is Bordelon, and that picked off again, and looked down his receiver the entire time. That's going to go to the house. Pick 6 for the Bearcats, and Coach, he stared down his receiver the whole time.
Yeah, the cornerback was sitting there just waiting and watching, and he stepped in front of the receiver, and it was big time gone.
Now if you're Ruston, you've got, and watch, you see the end of the play. Good work by the Ruston defense. That was number 8, Ray Owens, that was able to just see that, played a little center field, rolled over and got that one. Had an opportunity at the receiver down the sideline, but just a great job of defense by Owens.
And the Ash sideline is quiet. The band's quiet. Fans are quiet.
And it's good. 35-16 into this one, back in 30 seconds.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
from 5 down to 19 down in a matter of just a couple of minutes of game time. What a difference these last 3 or 4 minutes have made. The Trojans went down, got the field goal, got the onside kick. We're marching. Joe throws a pick and then comes right back with a pick six following that. And Joe and that offense will be right back out there. And this is not the way you want your offense to be on the field as much as they are. That kick goes back.
Once again, he's kicked it deep.
Lindsey's got it at the 2. And again, trying to get to the outside. JT now reverses field, gets to the 25-yard line. And turnovers, Coach, have really been the ruination of the Trojans on this night.
Yeah, and you can't afford to do that against a good football team. And then they took advantage of it, with no doubt.
Now, Ruston is, and again, it's a truism. These cliches are there for a reason. But Ruston is as good as advertised.
Yeah, and I'm watching their front 3 guys. They're pinning their ears back and just coming full bore, just hard as they can go. And the linebackers are keying as well.
There goes Cunningham following the motion man. He's going to pick up 8 on the play. And the Trojans with 3:22 have an opportunity to get down there and score. And 3-score game. Of course, now 2-point conversions factor into it a lot.
We're going to have to get a stop on defense for it to mean anything, though.
Cunningham again up the middle, spinning around, trying to get the first down. They'll mark him at the 37-yard line, a yard past the line to gain. 3:02 here in the third quarter. Clock stops momentarily. It will start on the ready for play and is. Trojans look to the near side. Bachman signaling in the play that he wants. And that defense from Ruston back off of the ball. Joe rolling. He's got a chance to tuck it and run. Think he's past the line of scrimmage when he throws that, and he is. Flag's going to come down to the near side, and Joe was about the 38-yard line when he threw that ball. And the only problem with that is the line of scrimmage was 37.
Yeah, the offenses make one good play and then shoot yourselves in the foot and get behind the sticks, and it's not looking good.
It may officially have called an ineligible man downfield was the play. Looked like he was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw it, but take your pick there, still a penalty. And Joe's got the opportunity to tuck that one in and run. That's difficult on a lineman when you see your quarterback take off and run, and then your quarterback throw it right at the last second.
Right. They're sorting it out here. Let's see.
Looking for the white hat, and they declined that one.
It's going to be third down.
Should be second down and 10 following the incompletion, so not wanting to give the Trojans another down. And you like that because you only have the 10 yards to go. It's not backed up and you're not behind the chains. Joe brings Mingo in motion, circles around back behind him, looks to swing it out to him, throws that inside screen. It's complete. 45-50 to Datlin. Datlin with a first down into Bearcat territory. And that coach is playing the strength of that Ruston defense against themselves, and they let the pressure get in.
Yeah, they turned him loose, and he had plenty of room to run. Did a nice recovery by the linebacker in the secondary at that time, though. Could have been worse.
2:25 in the third. Joe reaches up, throws that one. It is complete. Spun around. Looked like E.J. Scott on the completion.
I have to say that I'm impressed with the Ruston secondary also. When they make a tackle, they do tackle.
Yeah, there's no arm tackling, no any of that. Give him 9.5. Make it second down and short. Nose of the football on the 35 of the Bearcats. Trojans trying to answer a couple of scores. Handoff to Cunningham up the middle, and it is a Trojan first down. Clock will stop to move the chains.
Comes number 6 checking in the game for JT Lindsey.
JT Lindsey changes places. We saw them a lot in the backfield. JT definitely one of the fastest players on this team. Got to talk to him some last night. Joe stepping up, spinning around, good movement, throws this one over the head of Jones and incomplete.
Lucky we didn't get a call for a hold in that time. Might have got away with one.
Second down and 10. Pineville struggling up in the northeast portion of the state. They're down 47-0 in that one. Here the Trojans trail 35-16. Not a good night for the Cenla teams. That pass incomplete, diving opportunity from Mingo.
That was a good effort by Mingo. He led him just a little bit too much, but the coverage was right there. He was not open.
Bolton on top of Buckeye, 21-19 over at Bolton. Menard hanging on and going to look like they're going to pick up the win. They lead that one 28-0 over the Red Devils of Pickering.
That's homecoming now, I think, for the Menard Eagles.
Yes. Third down and 10. Definitely 4-down territories. The Trojans have got to get back in this one. Down by 19. Joe back to pass. Stepping up once again. It's going to be a hold that's called. And got to believe that'll be declined and bring up fourth down.
The thing that I'm impressed about Ruston is they react to the ball. I mean, even the linemen, when Joe started to run there, they turned around and chased him down from behind.
Great observation. Indeed, that is the case. They get off of their person that they're on and go to the ball as good as anyone we've seen.
Not only are they big, they're extremely quick.
One of the quirks of the reorganization, normally you had an opportunity to get a rematch against this Ruston team in the playoffs, but they'll stay in the non-select where Ash will move to the select.
And hopefully they get in the playoffs because they're only going to be, what, 16
Top
teams?
24.
24?
Yes. A lot of power points up in this 2-5A. Joe on fourth down. Zips this one in and out of the hands, and you're going to get pass interference. Pass interference is going to be called against Ruston, and that's going to give Alexandria a first down.
I've been tugging on him a little bit before the ball got there.
We'll move the chains, and they report in. We'll take a look what the white hat has to say. See a little bit of huddle. And that officiating crew has done a solid job tonight. Oh, they're waving the flag off. Wow. And, that won't make the coaches very happy with it. You call it and then take it away. We'll have to figure out what it is. But at the end of the day, they get together and say, hey, what'd you see in this? This is what we saw there. And they make the call. And, again, this crew that is out there is one of the better crews, man for man, that you'll find.
Trojan defense is going to have to step up. We haven't been able to stop them in the last couple of series, and if we don't stop them here, it just about Katie bar the door here.
1:17 remaining in the third. Handoff is there right up the middle, and that's just big, strong legs running against the tired defense. Out near the 47-yard line.
Got to give credit to their offensive line. They're making some holes up there and putting a hat on a hat.
And Ruston smelling blood in this one. They are really getting on this Trojan defense, hurrying to the line, not letting any substitutions be made, running some clock, but hurrying to that. That's kind of that no huddle, hurry up, but slow down type of offense. 55 seconds to go, third quarter. And off up the middle from Hayes. Hayes banging around and just knocking over defenders inside the 40 to the 39. Clock stops for the first.
Not going to bring him down with the arm tackle for sure. I mean, you got to put a shoulder pad on him, and he's running hard. Straight up the field, shoulders down, and this is their game. And we've had trouble with teams that run.
You talk about resiliency and comeback. Trojans get it within a score, and Ruston just really ramped things up following that. Handoff again. That's Hayes getting to the outside, cuts back to the middle, spins around. 3 consecutive runs and 3 consecutive first downs. And a Trojan is down on the far side of the field towards the tail end of that play.
Yeah, look like maybe well, I don't want to guess, but maybe an ankle.
This time of night, he looks like he's trying to get up. Maybe the cramps setting in on him. The training staff for this Ruston team is there, and that's one of the differences. Coach, we talked about they've got one of the training tents on there. You hear in the college and NFL that he went under the tent. They've got one of those here for Ruston, and it's just a showing of the difference in medical staff in Ouachita Parish versus here in Rapides.
Well, you know, years ago, back when I was coaching in Rapides Parish, we had Mid-State had, you know, every school had a trainer on staff, and I don't know what happened, what the change, and of course Dr. Rich was kind of in charge of that at that time. Of course, he's passed away now, but you know, for whatever reason, we don't have one in Rapides Parish anymore, and it's very important to have these guys looked at immediately.
Well, you've got a coach out there with him, and no training support staff, and that's one thing that I'd like to see the school board make a change quick, is to make sure that you've got medical staff on the sidelines of everyone. This is a violent sport, and just make sure, as you see Clark coming off, and looks like it may have been just a cramp in there as he's gingerly walking off, but man, that.
Well, he's got his shoe off, so
yes, it may have been an ankle, but again, we won't speculate on any of it, other than he walked off on his own, and that's a good sign. West Monroe on top of Pineville, 47-0, third quarter.
Probably that'll be running clock, you think?
Winds down the third here. After 3, it is Ruston 35, Ash 16. Ruston in control, looking to get more. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter right after this.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Senla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Back to live action we go, and getting the clock back set. It is off.
Hold on, we can't reset the clock.
And it is running. They're trying to get that worked out. 35-16, Trojans lead, or Trojans trail as we start. And Couve up in the house getting things straightened out. And we're back and set and ready to go.
We're ready to go.
First down and 10 for the Bearcats from the Trojan 24-yard line, looking to put this one out of reach. Play action now, going over the top, wide touchdown. Open, touchdown, hits the tight end. And that was just
too easy.
Really doing anything they want to do offensively now is Ruston. 41-16, PAT pending. And coach, just about 10 minutes of play action, and it was a game that was 21-16, is now set to be 42. So 3 straight touchdowns, one the pick 6, and a couple just nice drives.
And no doubt Ruston is for real.
Kick is up and it's good. We'll keep it right here.
I'd have to say they're the best team we've seen this year, and that includes Caring Crow, St. Thomas More, and all the others.
They check all the boxes. They do it. They're physical defensively. They're fast defensively. They get to the football. And again, they're a finishing team. They smell blood in the water, and like a shark just went after it.
Yeah, and of course we've helped them along the way, you know, with fumbles and interceptions and things like that. And you can't do that against a good football team and expect to be on top.
And this is a loss that the Trojans, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of football left. I'll preface it to that, but this is a run of, you know, we've seen this up at West Monroe a couple of times where you're hanging in there, and then you have that big flurry that gets put on, and Ruston has done that tonight.
Well, I don't think just looking at the scores and who they've played, Ruston's played some quality teams. West Monroe, I don't think it's the West Monroe that they've been in the past. Of course, they're still good. And then, of course, Ouachita, they have some athletes as well. So it's going to be a tough season unless Trojans can.
Those Northeast Louisiana teams putting up a lot of points tonight. We did see Ouachita had put up 69 over West Ouachita, and that game was in the third quarter. West Monroe all over Pineville, 54-0 in the third. And here, Ruston all over your Trojans, 42-16. At the start of the fourth. Buckeye has scored a touchdown and taken the lead back at Bolton in that one, 25-21. And Menard holds on to a 28-0 lead, we think, in that one with Pickering. Yep, 28-0 there. So 11:54, a quarter of football to play. Trojans need a lot of work fast. Datlin up the middle.
See some offensive linemen kind of standing around instead of staying with the blocks there. And you got to move these guys if you're going to have a hole to run through. Picked up, maybe 2 yards.
Give him 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. Jimmy Duncan checks back in for Harrington. They'll bring Mingo to the near side. Very impressed with the play of Eric Jones tonight. Scott had that big catch for the moment he was in the game. Now coming in motion is Duncan. Going in there and out to the 30, incomplete, intended for E.J. Scott.
I thought the defender got there a little bit early, but apparently not. There was no flag that time.
The thing, when you've played with the kind of physicality that this Ruston team has played with tonight, you're not going to get those. I mean, that's just that they're coming, and they've put those kind of hits on all night long.
Well, and the guys started looking for those defensive guys to hit them, and they, not concentrating on the ball quite as hard.
When you're thinking more about the hit than the catch, it makes it tough. Joe, back to pass. There's that little screen in and out of the hands.
Fumble, bumble,
Datlin unable to grab that one, and that's been the case, Coach, that these guys are hearing footsteps throughout the night.
Yeah, bad is getting worse, unfortunately, for the Trojans.
42-16. The scoreboard's got it at 41, but it's 42-16 in this one. And Chuck relieved me of my duties from last week of running the clock, as I did a poor job of it. That one is up, and a good kick from Joe. Hits at the 38 and bounces back, takes a good Trojan roll. But here comes that Ruston offense out there once again. And, Coach, it started out with an onside kick that the Trojans recovered, unable to do anything with. Onside kick to start out the second half after their field goal. And just it's been all Ruston since that point.
Right, and I'm watching the defense over here on the sideline. They're just kind of walking around in a daze like and the offense is the same thing. So we'll see. Ruston, they're not going to take the foot off the accelerator right here, I wouldn't think.
No, you start talking about style points at in a point like this, because you know that a lot of people are watching this. You know that a lot of people will go back and watch this, and they'll measure the score by that.
Well, and they're ranked, number 3?
They were number 1
in 5A.
Non-select. Number 2 in the overall combined. And so they're looking to hang on to that 1 seed, and I don't know of anybody in this district, Coach, that's going to slow down Ruston.
Not that I've seen. And even in the other parts of the state, comparing them to St. Thomas More and some of the people that we played, I think they're just a lot more athletes out there.
Physically dominant team.
Brooks on the carry. Brooks on the carry.
Brooks gets that right up the middle, and there's Big Vaughn Darbone. Oh, that's Gary Matthews, correction.
Well, that's the first time that we've actually stuffed them for the 2 plays in a row. And I'm sure coaches over there put something in the guys' ears, and don't quit. And you like to see that. Hopefully the Trojans will step up and stop them right here, even though the game's pretty much out of reach.
Well, and at some point you got to start. You want to finish strong, without a doubt. But you've got to trip up to Washita next week in what's going to be a battle itself.
And they're putting some serious points up there themselves. Oh, there he goes.
Smith gets that one up the middle. We'll pick up 6, it looks like.
Like to broke it, then picked up the first down, but it's going to be short. It'll be 4th down and about
4th down
4.
and
3 or 4.
Well, they're backing it up, so it may be 3. Yeah, 4th down and 3. We'll see if Ruston thinks about punting with 9:14 remaining. Menard 37-0 at the half.
Wow.
Up on that. Good update. Just halftime there in that homecoming game. Goodness gracious, at 9 o'clock.
They must
have got a little late start.
Undoubtedly, or either they must have been throwing the ball, and that's not Menard's forte, I don't think.
Needed this game. There's that rugby-style kick, running it to the near side and then kicking it, and it checks up around the 37-yard line and will roll. Be touched dead there at the 37. Trojans will come back out. They've got 8.5 minutes left in the 4th to generate 3 scores and a little bit more.
I'd like to see them at least come back and make a score here and make it respectable, because right now it's been all Bearcats for the second half.
In a game that was 21-13 at the half, Trojans come out, take the opening kick and go down and get a field goal out of it, get the onside kick back, and Joe throws the interception off of the tip, and man, just downhill from there. A flurry from the Bearcats. Joe trying to get it all here, looking downfield. Johnson comes back for it, complete down to the 27-yard line, and here comes that tempo from the Trojans.
Crane with a knockout, and Johnson with the 1st down catch.
And now hurrying to the line of scrimmage go the Trojans. Got to score and got to score quickly. Cunningham gets it. He's dropped down in the backfield. But you look around, and these receivers are all bottled up from defenders from this Bearcat team.
And that defensive front, number 6 is listed as 6'4", 300 pounds. He's not a baby boy out there.
Like they said back in the day, I'm a believer. I believe that. 2nd down and 11, loss of a yard to Cunningham. Joe rolling with the pocket, zips this one out complete to Mingo, I believe. Jones with the catch out on the far side.
The thing that impressed me the most about Ruston is their defensive line and linebackers. Those cats, as big as they are, run to the ball. I mean, they were out there where the wide receiver was on the play.
7:20 and counting in this one, as Jones did not get out of bounds. There's the snap. Handoff goes up the middle, hit in the backfield, but going to drag his defender through for a 1st down. Clock will stop momentarily to reset the chains. Jalen in man coverage to the near side. See if we can get that. Jimmy Duncan gets back in there.
He's a lone receiver, or was.
Now they've got 3 to this side. Trojans need one here at 6:55 remaining. Got a lot of work to do here offensively and defensively as he trail in this one 42-16. Snap is back. Joe zips the fastball in there.
Almost picked off.
Incomplete. Yeah, it bounced around. Pass falls incomplete. Clock will stop on that one with 6.5.
2nd and 10.
Buckeye now extending their lead at Bolton, 34-21.
Coach McLaughlin's got him on the comeback there after last week.
Yep, needed that one. That Squirrel Bowl from a week ago where they lose to Grant. Now he comes into Alexandria and Bolton High School and is taking care of business there.
Looks like probably a crossing route over here on this side.
Comes Joe rolling the pocket this side. Got to
throw
throw
it away.
And it is complete.
For no gain or
Mingo
loss.
has it to the 15, so give him about a yard on it. It looks like 3rd down and 9. Trojans have been down here a lot, Coach, but just have been ineffective from 30 in.
Yeah, good job by that secondary. They're covering up our receivers pretty well here.
Back to pass is Bordelon, zips that one in. It's complete, spinning around, trying to get to the end zone. Touchdown, Mingo. Touchdown, Trojans.
That was all Mingo.
That was
time.
all Amirion Mingo.
Because he got hit after he caught it, and 2 more times, and he still was able to twist and get it.
So on the replay, you see Mingo with the catch and then just fights his way in there and then dives in at the last second into the end zone. 42-22. Van Dyke in there now teeing it up. Trojan strike, but a lot of work to do. That kick is up and it is good. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
$19-point lead here. The Trojans score there, and you got to expect either that sky kick or that onside and all of the hands. And this is that 10 men up on the line, Coach, that you had talked about in just one man deep. This is one of those, maybe you kick it high, and he's got the fair catch set up, but you run one of your guys past this initial front line and go down there and catch it in the air.
Yeah, to try to kick the tee and pop it way high up in the air and hopefully get somebody down there at the same time they try to catch it.
Ball bounces around, hits one of the up men, and this is the furthest back onside kick that I think I've seen. Chuck, do you have that one?
They bounced off, and they actually picked up back past where they kicked it off from 35-yard line. Ruston's going to have the ball.
That was one of the strangest. We'll see what we have on here. Kicks it, and a guy was coming up after it, and it bounces off of him. And so that was aggressively coming up to play it, was the front line for Ruston. And my goodness, he looked like he was trying to take that one to the house.
Trojans going to have to try to get a stop here and tackle the football at the same time, but you know they're going to pound it.
And you had a shot at getting that one back, but handoff right up the middle. Trojan defense is there, but it continues to roll time off the clock down at 6:05 and counting to go in this one.
Running back there, number 12, he had both hands wrapped around the football, so he's not going to give it up. That's Brooks.
Grant 35, Franklin Parish at 20. You see that in the third quarter on your screen. The script rolling across the bottom of the scores. We appreciate our friends at Walk-Ons bringing that to you. Buckeye 34, Bolton 21 there. And Menard all over Pickering at halftime, 37-0 at homecoming.
And he
going
over the big one.
Deep, spinning, caught down at the 5, and tremendous catch.
Had him right in his face, and he was still able to come down with it. That's number 10 or 12, I can't see.
Defender to the near side that was back in coverage just didn't turn around.
Looks like Brooks, I think.
And Ruston trying to just really get after it here.
Touchdown.
Right up the middle, pushes his own lineman down and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Bearcats. 48-23 now. 5:07 remaining, and don't believe that traffic is going to be an issue tonight in this one, Coach.
You know, the people are kind of dumbfounded sitting in the stands. There's still a pretty good crowd here, but they're starting to work their way out, especially after that score. But you got, I'm just impressed with their offensive line, and man, that's the best I've seen this year, without a doubt.
Kick is up. No good. 34, or correction, 48. 48-23. 5:07 to go. Back in 30. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
And we're back in this one.
48. The only thing that's went wrong for Ruston tonight was that missed extra point.
Yeah, leg wore out.
5:07 to go in this one. Kicks it to the 10, and it may be a little leg fatigue there. A lot of kickoffs and a lot of extra points. Oh, great job of firing through on special teams and making that tackle.
They're out for blood now. It's a killer instinct. Yep, 48-23. Just gonna put the Trojans away. There's no quit in Ruston. Of course, Trojans are still playing hard. It's just there's too much talent on the other side of the ball, and then, of course, key mistakes that Trojans made helped it out a little bit, but the interceptions and fumbles and such.
Now start looking at things, but I'm going to tell you, I don't see a more physically dominant team in Division I non-select this year than what I see in these Ruston Bearcats.
Yeah, like I say, Karen Crow, I thought was pretty physical, but this bunch is way, way, way above that.
Joe throws the screen. It is complete to Lindsey. Lindsey knocked down after the first down, hammered down.
And their secondary, they're a physical bunch as well. They got good speed. You know, our receivers are not running wide open like they've done in the past. They're being covered up.
Handoff goes to Datlin. Datlin right up the middle to the 40-yard line.
I'd like to see the Trojans, at least they're not quitting, and they're still trying to move the ball, and even though they're down 25 points here, they're still making an effort to get another touchdown.
Trojans will be on the road for the first time in a month as they head up the road to Ouachita Parish next week. Mingo on the inside handoff, knocked out of bounds. He's going to gain nothing, it looks like there. But Thomas Bachman Show will be Thursday night. Remember, that's an opportunity. Thanks to walk-ons, you're going to get a chance. Somebody in the crowd that night will win a pair of LSU and Ole Miss game tickets courtesy of walk-ons. Come on out and have a great time. Had a blast last night on National Coaches Day. Coaches got a free classic hamburger.
I wish I'd have known that.
Joe rolling, coming back this way, swallowed up and going to be sacked for an 8-yard loss. They mark him officially at, they'll give him 8 yards on the loss.
And that's with just a 3-man rush. Like I say, that their defensive front, these guys are pinning their ears back. Of course, they have the advantage of knowing that, they got to pass, but they've done that pretty much all night long.
At this point, I think you run the ball and go on and get out of here in this one.
Yeah, no punt it, and hopefully Ruston will just decide to run the clock out here.
You can't say just run the ball because they have been,
They've been doing
dominant at running the football tonight. Joe puts a left foot into this one again. One of the better punters that we've seen, and that ball drops. Doesn't hit him, but takes a bounce and is going to be Joe's best punt of the evening. And the return man slipped right before the ball got to him, and luckily, he's lucky it didn't hit off his head.
Yeah. It would have been nice if it had tapped him a little bit to have had a chance to get the ball. Yeah.
Just tap it. 2:43 remaining in this one, and when you can work a Happy Gilmore joke in to a broadcast, it's either a tough night or one of those, and this indeed has been a tough one. Again, we will be on the air next week from Ouachita Parish at 6:30. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. We invite y'all to join us. Go to 446sports.com or head on over to our YouTube page. Just search 446 Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. You'll know each and every time that we go live. Handoff right up the middle.
They still got their first bunch out there. They're playing it out to the end, even though they're up 25 points here.
And Ruston, again, I'm telling you, they're sending a statement throughout the state in this one that, hey, the red and white are poised to make a run for that 5A state championship, or Division I, as you will.
Yeah, unless they get some serious injuries between now and then, I don't see anybody.
And, Coach, all of this without their starting running back, Dyson Fields, who is the 5'11", 190 senior running back.
Well,
he's on the shelf for a couple more weeks.
They didn't need him tonight for sure.
Trying to bounce it to the outside. Brought down there with just a minute 51 and going. Yeah, they do all of this. Their senior running back, Dyson Fields, is just a big, explosive back. But Coach warned me that he thought that Jordan Hayes was a little faster, and we've seen Jordan Hayes really explode through the line.
No doubt about that. And fullback as well, leading up on the linebackers. He did a heck of a job blocking, and the offensive line, just tremendous line blocking. So they're pretty solid all the way around as far as I can see.
3rd down and 8. Quarterback keep trying to get to the outside. Good. Josh Marie comes up there and makes the tackle on number 3, Josh Brantley. Brantley in at quarterback for Osborne.
I think Trojans are just going to let the clock run out here. It's just a done deal.
Yep, just a minute left on the clock, a little bit below that.
4th down, probably going to run it down to take a penalty here.
Game was 21-16, and the Trojans were marching and had all the momentum, a tipped ball, an interception, and a flurry. If you've ever used the cliche flurry, you saw that tonight. The game was 21-16, now sits at 48-23 in the second half, and a game that was 21-13 at halftime.
Yeah, that clock run out to 25-second clock, so now there are 24 seconds left to go in the game. They punt the ball, and Trojans have one or more opportunity on offense.
My Mingo stands back around the 48-yard line of Ruston. No drama left in this one. This was a difficult one when it got into that middle of the 3rd quarter, and the Trojans were right in it. Went down 14-0, clawed their way back in it, and you thought had a chance to climb back in it. They get the field goal, get the onside kick, and then, oh, goodness, did it go sideways.
Boy, yeah. It was, like I say, it was just that close to being a game, and then it just all of a sudden it wasn't. But it's next week, and we got another tough opponent. Like I say, we got to go on the road to Ouachita, and that's always a tough place to play.
It's a battle. But it's how you pick yourself up and get back after it. Trojans will fall to 3-3 on the season, 0-1 in district. Mingo lets that one bounce around. Now he picks it up at the last
And
minute, but is
fumbles.
unable to do that.
And
And ill-advised. 13 seconds. You got to believe that Ruston will take a knee on this one. And you see Mingo in there. Darius Washington, we talked about him prior to the start of the game, injured in practice, and is out. In Washington, the sophomore punt returner. First time that Mingo has seen action at punt returner this season. And ill-advised to pick that up. You like the spirit and the heart, but just ill-advised that time.
Yeah, and like I say, I think Ruston will hopefully down the ball and let the clock run out, but you never know.
Well, you see the running back about 20 yards. That's a victory formation setup. They'll snap it, take a knee, and get out of this one, and we'll move to 5-1 on the season. Trojans will drop to 3-3. Again, 0-1 in District 2 5A. A lot of work to do. That's going to be the ball game. Your final score, Ruston 48, Ash 23. Going to take our final break of the night. It'll be a 1-minute timeout. Then we'll be back to wrap it up and get you on your way. You watched Ash Trojan football. Bearcats victorious. We'll be right back.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Lock On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Back to wrap things up here. A couple of extra camera workers on tonight. Of course, Brett Stallsby, brother-in-law, is here. Roger Walker, the best-dressed cameraman in the business. Chuck Perkins producing for us all night long. Did a great job of that. We hope you enjoyed the play. And Ariel and Ryan Estes added some camera work for us tonight. Chuck's daughter and son-in-law were on the camera doing some work for us. Of course, my man Ernie Lott. Coach, what a battle through about 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, it was a good, interesting first half, but from there on down, it was downhill for the rest of the way. It's going to see how the Trojans react to coming back against Ouachita next week after a pretty sound defeat here at the hands of the Bearcats, and hopefully they will rebound, because if you don't go into Ouachita, it's going to be another tough night.
Indeed it is, and now you really have to battle to get your way in. You've got to roll off some victories. Staying in that top 24, you've got to turn it around and get into the playoffs where anything can happen. But you can ill afford to go down 0-2 in district and fall to 3-4. So they've got to recoup. You know, they'll get back to work Sunday afternoon. They'll get back and they'll practice Sunday evening, as they always do. They'll be in looking at film tomorrow, middle of the day, and doing laundry and getting back on their routine.
Remember that well.
Yeah, right. So, but that's going to wrap it up here from this one. Big night for the Bearcats as midway through the third quarter, following that interception, it became all Ruston Bearcats the rest of the way. A lot of things to work on, a lot of drop balls tonight. Tackling was a concern, but do you know if it's just Ruston that allowed that that took charge? I was very impressed with the running of the Ruston running backs, the tackling. You said, Coach, they would get off the ball and get when the play was beside them, they would get off their man and get on the ball as well as anyone we've seen.
Right. The linemen, and when they initially blocked by the Trojans and then they would run to the football, that was what's most impressive to me. They had linemen out there making tackles out wide, and you know that when you do that, it shows up, and you can see they're excited on the other sideline over there.
Well, hopefully those Trojans that are on the field are looking over there and seeing that too. You never like to see anybody celebrating on your field. And Ruston, well-deserved celebrating this victory. And my goodness, that's going to wrap it up here from J.L. Butch Stoker Stadium. Remember to join us Thursday live from Walk-Ons. Somebody's going to walk away with a pair of LSU and Ole Miss tickets. Catch LSU and Tennessee tomorrow at 11 a.m. 446 Sports will be tweeting throughout the game. You want to keep an eye on that, and then we'll, of course, have our update at halftime and following the game. So it's been an enjoyable night for a little while. Trojans will get back on it. Big thanks to everyone that watched and helped put on this broadcast, all of our sponsors, the folks at Wallace Eye Associates. You see them in the top corner that provide access to our scoreboard, although we wish we couldn't see that one as well. Bearcats 48, Trojans 23. For all of those that I mentioned a little bit earlier, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.